test it? I'm all about testing.
He's going. Hello. Hey. Good evening. It's Championship Friday night here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Scott Oshman along with Tim Boyle. We got some special guests here, all the STSPN crew. It is WESCO 3A South Championship Friday, Tim Boyle, Edmonds-Woodway, Glacier Peak.
It is, and it's kind of deja vu all over again, right?
It really is. It was a far road trip last year to the friendly confines of Edmonds District Stadium. And before we get our special guest in, we have a nice clip of last year. Spencer Pettit, who I talked to today, by the way. It's Parents' Weekend. He's down there with his parents.
Are you name dropping now?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I told him already I get first dibs on his fantasy. I want him for my fantasy. There he is, Spencer Pettit. Now a kicker, redshirting this year for the Nevada Wolfpack. They play the Fighting the Rainbows. They're actually the Rainbow Warriors, I think, tomorrow.
Okay, well.
Tough season for the Wolfpack, though. They're not doing well in their league. But last year, 2017, here's the clip. First, Spencer Pettit, the phenom kicker, the weapon.
This is the 56-yarder, right? Yeah.
It's the 56 to end the first half, right? And then the 45
and
to win
it is not going to get there.
Keith Neely on the call.
It is wide.
No, it's
good.
No,
it went through. Everybody in the stands thought it went to the left.
So did I.
It must have just caught the inside upright.
This is it. Spencer Pettit for the win with 3 seconds left for a spot in the playoffs.
And the band is cooking alive here. Here comes the block attempt. The kick is up, and it is good. Ball game.
How about that?
Unbelievable. And the guy who was making that call and who was right there to witness it, unfortunately for his team, it was a tough loss last year. They actually went on to do better than Glacier Peak, oddly enough. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the voice of the Edmonds-Woodway Warriors, Keith Neely. How you doing, Keith?
I'm doing great. This is fun. This is beanie weather out here. You got in Memorial Stadium tonight. It's not going to be a warm affair.
No, tell us. You were there last year. Different teams, always different. But what about last year in that game? That was a heartbreaking loss for the Warriors.
Well, and it was one that I think Warriors unfortunately grew from. I mean, it's one of those things that over the course of that entire year, they probably lost 3 games to exactly that same method. A last-second over-the-top touchdown, a long 50-yard, 40-yard kick. The Meadowdale came down to a field goal and a long kick. So Warrior season could have ended dramatically different. But they, like you said, they ended up going in, played pretty well through the crossover games. And I think the team that you're going to see on the field tonight, probably weathering that storm was a good thing and put them right here square in the jaw at number 1 for the championship in the WESCO South tonight.
And let's switch to tonight. Last year's over. That was kind of a not one of Glacier Peak's better teams, whatnot, but always fun. Last year with Schaefer for Meadowdale, right, and with Pettit, you had 2 high school kickers who could hit 45 plus. That's pretty rare. Those guys have moved on. We don't have that. Let's go to tonight's WESCO 3A. Edmonds-Woodway coming in, of course, 4-1 in league, right?
Correct.
And Glacier Peak 5-0. What are we going to see tonight? What's the big key? You see these guys every single week.
Well, if you're speaking of Edmonds-Woodway, it's one of those things that we see them every week. We don't necessarily know which team's going to be on the field every week.
Come on!
So the story of the Edmonds-Woodway season's really been one of 2 seasons. The very beginning of the season was very rough. We look at the Meadowdale game, a team that's kind of chasing Edmonds-Woodway right now in the standings. A game that came down to 4 turnovers, 4 interceptions for the first-year starter Isaac Jackson, the quarterback. As a team racked up over 200 yards in interception yardage, or not interception, I mean penalty yardage.
Yeah.
So they actually had more penalty yards than they did total yardage from offense. So it's a team that in the beginning floundered quite a bit. A lot of undisciplined atmosphere among the ranks. And then, of course, Coach John Gradwall, head coach for Edmonds-Woodway, not a very been in the league a long time.
Yeah, patient.
They weather the storm.
We'll take
a break.
We're going to break 1 second. Keith Neely, again, STSPN, the American Family Insurance pregame.
Ron Henthorn, head
Ron the Wedge
referee here Jerry Coaster. Here we go.
Mr. Dolly will be the head linesman. He'll be on Edmonds-Woodway sideline. Mr. Noe will be on your sideline, Glacier, over there. Okay, we're quite a ways into the season. You guys, we should be playing good football now. We expect that. If I have no problem, if you guys have any question on explanation of a penalty or whatever, you want me to repeat it, you want to look at the sidelines to your coach, feel free to do that. Let's get it right when we do it. Okay, you guys are the visitors, Edmonds-Woodway. Who's going to call the toss? Okay. All right, the coin is the bird, the eagle is actually it's a falcon. Okay. That'll be the tail. JJ is the head. Awesome. Okay, what are you calling? Tails. He's calling tails. Okay, and it is a tail.
Coin flips a tail, called by Edmonds-Woodway.
You're going to defer?
I'm on the ball. Yeah.
Okay, which way do you want to kick?
We'll kick this way.
Okay, let's move around then in the direction we're going to be going. White has won the toss. They've deferred.
Edmonds-Woodway has won the toss.
Black will receive over here. Okay, guys.
Glacier Peak will receive the opening kickoff and defend WESCO.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Good luck in the game.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, the coin toss down here from Glacier Peak, Edmonds-Woodway game, guys, and Glacier Peak's going to get the ball. Let's see what happens. Back to you.
How about that? Nobody does it like the wedge.
Nobody can break into a coin toss like the wedge.
That's impressive.
It is
That was
impressive.
fun.
It is
That's an
impressive.
exclusive STSPN trait.
Absolutely. We continue on the American Family Insurance pregame show here on STSPN Edmonds-Woodway. We're joined by the voice of the Edmonds-Woodway Warriors, longtime broadcaster. This guy really knows what he's doing. He's in the biz, man. Keith Neely talking about this week's team, or the team we're going to see tonight for Edmonds-Woodway. We talked about Jackson. You got to talk about big number 27, Ryford.
Troy Reinford plays both ways. He's a kid that's a heck of an athlete. I mean, he's a specimen of an athlete. Has gotten penalties for leaping over players on the way to touchdowns. So a guy that you're going to have to keep an eye out for. You're going to have to look out for number 27. Averages about 2 touchdowns a game. He has, we thought about a dozen, I think, in the last 4 games. So he's a guy that is the number 1 in this offense. And like every Edmonds-Woodway team that I've ever probably covered, it's a run-first offense. So you got to watch for him. The sleeper in that backfield is a guy that is wearing number 26 right in front of him, the fullback, Graydon Herron. He's a 6 foot, 180-pound senior. He probably, at times, in games that are much like this, where you have a really good defense you're looking at, will get about the same amount of carries as Reinford and probably more yardage. So not as flashy, not as dashy, doesn't have the touchdowns to his credit, but he's a guy you're going to have to watch out for also.
So, Keith, what do you on paper, trying not to be a homer, we were looking at this, and it looks like Glacier Peak probably has a little bit of an advantage on paper. What do you think Edmonds-Woodway has to do tonight to actually win the game?
And that's kind of what we touched on, what we were talking about with the tale of 2 seasons. Edmonds-Woodway doesn't have to play, I don't think, a perfect game, but they've got to play games better than they have been. And I mean, no penalties, no stupid penalties, no personal foul, late hit type stuff that's going to sink a drive, because they have to have every single possession matter to them. And if they get taken out of a possession at any stage of this game because of something silly, Glacier Peak's going to jump right all over that and take advantage.
And tonight, you want to go for a score? You want to put you on the spot right now?
Right up there.
It's okay.
This is I think 2 very high scoring outfits. I think they're going to be up there a ways. So I'm going to say that I'm going to go 28-20. I think we're going to miss the PAT in there somewhere. Glacier Peak. That's when I'm going to
28-20 against the hometown, your hometown Warriors.
You heard it here, ladies
My
and
goodness,
gentlemen.
Keith Neely, the voice. We're going to hopefully, we won't tell anybody you said that.
No, they already know. What are you kidding me?
Talk about, just real quickly, and we're going to talk about defense with Hannon's Huddle here in a second, the defensive coordinator for Glacier Peak, as we continue on the American Family Insurance pregame show. Yeah, we'll put the defense here, but I want to talk about Edmonds-Woodway defense. I mean, the strength, yes, we're back to Glacier Peak, run and gun. They're scoring actually about 50-50 pass and run. They're scoring 3,000-plus yards through 7 games. But the Edmonds-Woodway defense has been pretty stout, right, Keith?
Very stout, and I think it starts with the linebacking core. You've got 3 linebackers right up the, including the middle linebacker in Spencer Schultz. You got a couple guys on the outside that can really fly in there. You've got a defensive end, number 88, Ollie Gay, who's a long, tall, lean body. He can make waves. He's a pass rusher. He's your stereotypical pass rusher, very quick on the outside. We can really cause some havoc. And then you got a guy that is probably undersized for a strong safety, Abduli Jada, wearing number 4. That kid plays a lot like the Seahawks' Cam Chancellor. Plays up to the line. He's really not a safety body. I mean, he's a safety body, but he plays like a linebacker. So they can really mix up their backfield as far as the defensive backfield. And I think they can throw a lot of different looks at you that maybe Glacier Peak is not seen.
Well, we will see. And to turn it back over again, an offense that does pretty well, Edmonds-Woodway, we're going to send it to our Tim Boyle is back in the house for this edition of Hannon's Huddle. We'll hear from
I was
defense.
just down on the field 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, you were earlier tonight. Hannon's Huddle right here. Steve Hannon.
Thumbs up. All right, welcome everybody. STSPN back here with our good friend, Coach Steve Hannon, defensive coordinator. Steve, I got to tell you, everybody's thinking this might be the best defense Glacier Peak's had over the years. How do you respond to that?
We've had some really good ones, but statistically, this is the best defense that we've ever had. And so I don't know. I mean, it's, thinking back over the years and with the Sean Elledge defense and the Trey Chambers defense, and Mo was here last year. We've had a lot of good players, but this feels like a real defensive team more than just individually really good players. So it might be our best defense.
And it seems like if the offense can put up 20 points or whatever, it's almost like you got it in the bag. Do you feel that way too?
Yeah, I think 20 points, if we score 20 points, that's on the defense to win the game from that point on. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so tonight, what are you looking for tonight? They got a couple big players. What are you watching out for?
Well, they're a 70-30 run-pass team, so they want to run the ball at us if they can do it. They run a lot of counter tray, which means they pull the backside guard and tackle, and they kick out on that one side, and they try to run it, pretend like there's a counter in the backfield, and then the number 27 will take it up through the hole on the right or the left. So a lot of deception in the backfield, but it's more of a power run game. So if they can line up and knock us off the ball, then we're going to be in trouble. It's going to be a long night.
Okay, well, how about this? A lot of people are wondering, Ian Black, healthy?
Yes, healthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that hurt when he went out in the Bellevue game. A lot of people thought, okay, boom, it kind of changed the makeup there.
Yeah, and it's not just that we lost Ian, though. He's probably our best defensive player, to be honest. But it wasn't just that we lost him, is that we lost a piece of the wing T puzzle, where very specifically we have to teach them individual jobs to stop that offense, and he's the guy that did that one job. So when he's gone, now we got to move McCoy over and teach him that job real quick, and put Painter in at inside linebacker and teach him McCoy's job real quick. And so, yeah, it really hurt us.
Okay, so now the other thing on defense is every year Rowe will say something like, well, this is the most physical team we've had, or this is the strongest team we've had, or the most talented. My perspective, this is the fastest team I think I've ever seen Glacier Peak have. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think Rory would agree with you. I think this is the fastest team that we've had. And when we started, we always do those 40 times and those T-test times, and just like it was the middle of the road, just like pretty much what we always have. What's different with this team and other teams is they play to their speed with pads on. In other words, they know what their job is, and they can do it really fast. A lot of football speed isn't about how fast you can pick up your feet and put them down. It's how well do you know your job and how fast can you make it happen. So, yeah.
Exactly, and how the instincts are. They seem to be moving before they need to move.
Yes, and especially Black and Guffey. And it makes sense because those guys have they've been starters since they were sophomores. So they should know their job really quick, really fast, and be able to get to the right spots in a hurry, and both of them do.
Very good. Now, I know you're not looking ahead, but tonight's for the championship, right? And if you win, you get a home game again next week?
That's correct. Yeah, and it's going to be Arlington. If we win tonight, it will be Arlington. So we've already looked at some of their film and broke some stuff down with Arlington, and so we know what they want to do to us. They're a spread team. They've got good athletes. They've got a really good quarterback, and that is going to be a totally different challenge than tonight.
Very good. Okay, we're going to wrap it up. Good luck. Thanks for the time.
Sure, thanks for coming.
Your dreams evolve, and with committed support, they thrive. American Family Insurance.
On the wedge, Henthorn down on the field. It is Championship Friday night, Edmonds-Woodway, Glacier Peak, and we got to hear from the voice, Keith Neely. Let's move over to Glacier Peak. They come in here pretty smoking hot, a big win last week over kind of a down Shorewood team, but talk a little bit about Glacier Peak, Tim, and their phenom freshman, Ziomas.
Oh, he's having it's going to be a real fun next 3-4 years watching him, and that's one thing Glacier Peak hasn't really done in the last few years, is had a quarterback who's gone for more than a couple of years, so that's going to be fun to watch. Defense is really, are we on offense here?
We're
on
offense right here, and again,
okay.
You have Devin Rainbow. It's senior night, so Devin might get the start, but you'll see the great offense right here, and they are over 3,000 yards through 7 games.
And not only that, they've really kind of mixed it up pretty well with their passing and their rushing. So it's a great mix right now. I think they're firing on all cylinders. They're getting some blowout wins. Nobody's really getting injured. So a lot of things going right for Glacier Peak.
And also Dexter Carter, we know Ian Black had been banged up, so we hear tonight he's not going to start the game for some other things, but I guess they were a little late or something, but he's going to go on defense. We kind of talked to Rowe a little bit, talked to Hannon. He might go on defense, but Dexter Carter has been, Dexter, look out Carter. He has been phenomenal through 7 games.
Absolutely, and I've talked many times about his speed, and he's finally kind of got that speed and power coming together. He's run some people over several times, and he's clicking on all cylinders right now. I'm excited for track season to watch him again. 85
carries, 521 yards, 5 touchdowns, 6.1 average right now. And let's get to our predictions here before they kick off. Stevenson is kicking off in the white Edmonds-Woodway to Glacier Peak. What's the predictions?
Well, the wedge has it 27-10 Glacier Peak. Scott, you got it 36-15 Glacier Peak. I've got it 42-13 Glacier Peak. Keith Neely had it 28-20 Glacier Peak. There you are.
And the Everett Herald, it is a scrib. It's picked up short there by, it looks like Ian Black actually got it, number 34, and he'll bring it up about the 43, 44-yard line.
Well, so much for him not starting.
Yeah, so much for
that lasted a long time.
It did. So much for him not carrying the ball on offense. Some plans are just, meant to get blown up, right?
It was good in theory.
It was.
But it's senior night, so I'm glad to see him start.
It is. Glacier Peak, they've won a lot of coin tosses, and they've deferred usually starting. So this is interesting, and we'll see for quarterback out there. It looks like Ziomas.
No.
is the quarterback, 15. He hands it off to Carter. Carter, not much
flag
there. A good defensive play there by the Warriors.
Flag came in. Usually where you see a hold, you got a flag, so we'll have to see what this is. Where's the guy in the white cap? Face mask. Ooh, it's a face mask on Edmonds-Woodway. And I think it was off the ball face mask because I saw that on the outside over there. And the ref picked it up too. But I think it was the guy that didn't have the ball. Let's check the replay.
Let's look at the replay. Again, Todd Elvig, our executive producer, engineer, 5-tool player. And we've got, right there in the middle, he's coming down, a face mask. So, Keith talked about they lost to Meadowdale because they had 200 yards plus in penalties. That's been kind of their Achilles heel. We've talked about that on the Glacier Peak side many years.
Yep, and Glacier Peak's had a lot this year too. And a lot of times it's not how many, it's when you get them.
Yeah.
So Glacier Peak's had them at really bad times as well.
Ziomas there in the pocket, bunt to his left, Carter to the right, McCoy in motion. First down and 5 now. They get it to Bunt. Bunt tries to break a seal. There he goes past the 40.
Oh.
And a nice big hit at the 36 and finally taken down. Bye-bye, Bunt.
And that was a big league play there. He saw the safety coming up, and he just lowers his shoulder and said, okay, who's going to win this battle?
And that's an Umpqua Bank first down, Tim.
That's our – I love 1st and 5, by the way.
Not a bad one.
There's no better down than 1st and 5.
A lot of plays in the playbook for that.
Oh, everything. It's almost like you got a free one.
Big night tonight. Again, as we'll talk about throughout the broadcast, the winner of this takes the number 1 seed, and Edmonds-Woodway or whoever has got to be scoreboard watching as Meadowdale, if they lose, as there's flags on this 1st and 10.
Well, it's a dead ball one, so it's probably a false start of some sort is my guess.
But
false start, 5 yards.
So push them back, first penalty here. But so if Glacier Peak wins, Edmonds-Woodway loses, but Meadowdale wins, Meadowdale gets the 2nd seed because head-to-head Meadowdale beat Edmonds-Woodway.
Correct, and it's a much bigger game tonight for Edmonds-Woodway than it is. I mean, it's huge for both teams.
Yes.
Edmonds-Woodway has more to lose tonight than Glacier Peak.
Absolutely. So 1st and 15 now for Ziomas. Aiden, the freshman. Good snap. Carter up the middle, and not much there. And number 4, we talked about him pregame. There's Jada, Abdullah Jada. He's kind of the hybrid do-it-all, 5'11", 170 junior.
I look to see I would look to see Justin Guffey get a little bit more action tonight.
And we talked to head coach Rowe for Glacier Peak about that, and he kind of agreed. Yeah, he hasn't gotten the ball a lot.
The fans are complaining like it's like a Jimmy Graham situation with the Seahawks.
Ziomas, first pass of the night. Did he get it to Guffey? Speak of the devil, at the 20, at the 18. They say he caught it. Let's look at the replay.
It looked like it hit the ground, so hopefully they're calling it good.
I think he did get it.
Yeah, they're calling it good, so no instant replay. They don't have the benefit of that. We do.
So
but
Guffey,
just when we talked about getting him the ball, I look for him to have a big game tonight.
Another big Umpqua Bank first down, and Glacier Peak in the red zone here for the first time. That was a 20-yard pass completion, the first one for Ziomas. We'll go over the scary numbers for the freshman coming into tonight in just a minute. Aiden back to pass one more time. Now he tucks it under. Now he's going to scramble, gets to the 10 and goes and takes a knee wisely like a veteran. He'll get 1 yard short of another first down.
And that was a big play. You notice how he stepped right through that pocket when it was starting to collapse, and he got right through there, and great play by the freshman.
Ziomas coming in tonight, he has 9 touchdowns through the air, 55 of 76, 990 yards, Tim Boyle, for just a freshman.
And only 1 interception on the year.
Crazy.
So crazy stats for a true freshman.
A true freshman, absolutely. McCoy in motion now. 2nd and a yard. They give it to Carter, no problem. Carter bangs his way down to another Umpqua Bank first down around the 6-yard line, and Carter
He's not afraid of the contact.
No, he wanted it, and he got it.
Going right at him.
8:29, first quarter. Glad you're with us. Scott Oshman, Tim Boyle, Ron Henthorn down on the field. Got everybody up in the booth. Got a great treat tonight. Our Glacier Peak Booster auction winner, Heidi Pennell, in the booth. We'll hear from her hopefully later.
And her son is on the team, number 67, right? Yep. Hopefully we'll see him in the game.
First and goal for Ziomas. Ziomas hands it over to Bunt. Bunt doesn't like it. Now he bounces outside. Tries to get to the 5. A good tackle there for Edmonds-Woodway, number 29.
It was actually a good effort just to get back. He gained a yard on that. They could have had him for about a 4-yard loss. So
Sabatu Roble.
Colton.
Excuse me there, Tim. Sabatu for Edmonds-Woodway, the Warriors. Coach Gradwall for Edmonds-Woodway. He's been there 20-plus years. No one really knows for sure. I asked Keith Neely, who knows everything. It is. Second and goal from the 5. Shotgun is Ziomas. Carter to his left. Rolling left. Goes over. Tosses it.
Ooh,
too much.
It looked like he got bumped from behind.
Trying to go to Hatch there, Tim. And Hatch has had some big games. In Mount Lake Terrace game, he had a big touchdown catch and a couple others.
He has. He's had several touchdowns this year.
He's coming along. The hoops player normally. So we'll try again. Third and goal. Edmonds-Woodway doing a good job here defensively.
That's where you got to get the ball in number 21's hands.
I think so. It's like the Jimmy Graham. We're talking in the red zone.
Exactly. Get him the ball, just like that article at the beginning of the year.
7:27 the first quarter. First series here for Glacier Peak. WESCO 3A South championship game. Ziomas looking to find Bunt. He does. Touchdown, Glacier Peak. Bye-bye, Bunt.
It was a great over-the-shoulder pass, too, and the freshman quarterback there looked very composed, put the ball in the perfect spot. You're going to see it right there on the replay.
Our exclusive STSPN replay. That's our McDaniels Do-It Center touchdown. Grizzlies 6-0. Kevin Ramsey, kicker Kev, with Plank holding out for the extra point. And that's up, and it is good. So 7:22 left in this first quarter. Glacier Peak strikes first on Western Conference football, presented by Gilpin Realty. We'll be back with more right after this. Veterans Memorial Stadium here. Scott Oshman, Tim Boyle, and the gang. 7-0 Glacier Peak here on this championship Friday night.
And we'll be back here. A victory tonight. We'll be back here for sure next Friday. So.
And all roads kind of point to Arlington, the 4A North. And as we look to set off, let's show you Glacier Peak's defense. And our great starting lineup graphic here. And the defense, Tim Boyle, has been unbelievable this year. You were talking, it might be one of the best ones you've seen in 8 years.
I think it is. It's extremely frugal this year. You know, a lot of games they're giving up 3 or 6 points.
Taken now by Woodway. He gets past the 30. A nice start for Edmonds-Woodway. And that's Anthony Lindemood, the junior, with a good run back there to start the Warriors off.
And talking to Hannon off the record, he feels like, you know, if the defense or if the offense can put up about 20 points, he feels comfortable with his defense holding them under that usually in these games. And usually he hasn't even had, you know, if the offense can put up 10 points, they're going to win the game.
Yeah,
you know?
We talked to him a couple weeks ago about that, coming out of Bellevue again, joking that Rowe and the offense owe him big. Yeah, they are stingy. 2.8 yards per carry as Jackson starts it off, and they give it up to the big fella, Reinfurt, 27. He's the big star there. Again, Keith Neely telling us he scores a lot of touchdowns, and he gets a nice gain on first down.
He's averaging about 2 touchdowns a game, so far through what, seven games?
Yeah,
that's he's got a lot of touchdowns. Didn't he have 5 in one game?
Against Linwood.
Yep. He's having a big year.
2nd and 6 from the Warrior 39-yard line. Jackson pitches it to Reinford once again on the right side. He finds a crease, and he gets a Umpqua Bank first down for the Warriors and finally brought down.
And he only had about one guy to beat there, and he would have been off to the races.
Looked like it bunched up. Great blocking up front by the offensive line there. And Glacier Peak gives up a first down right off the bat here with 6:32. Jackson again can do both. He's very apt, more than serviceable passer, and also a decent runner. And again, an eye set, and they give it to the up back this time, and he cranks through for a big. He gets through for a big gain.
We apologize.
Yeah, I apologize. That's going to our FCC. Wait a minute. It's the internet. I can say whatever I want.
Was there a 7-second rule?
Yeah. Do we have the dump delay? So that's number 26. That's Heron, Graydon Heron, and Keith Neely talked about that. He kind of gets overshadowed because Reinford gets all the touchdowns, but he carries, a lot, and he gains a lot of yards. So they're close to another first down.
Yeah, being very effective right now with the run.
Into Glacier Peak territory. Bootleg. Jackson over. He passes, almost intercepted by Bach, it looked like. No, that was Smith, number 20.
Yeah, that was very close to being picked off.
You see it right here.
The receiver actually kind of forced the fumble there.
He was trying to go to Heron, Graydon Heron, and Ethan Smith, who's, ever since the first game against Snohomish, he had a great interception. He has played well, had some good run backs. So that brings up 3rd down and 3 to go here. And they give it to Big Reinfurt, the 3rd down monster, and he gets an Umpqua Bank first down to the Glacier Peak 40.
He seems to be able to find those holes very well.
They're blocking very well. Justin Guffey on the tackle. 5:23 left here in the first quarter. Glacier Peak got the ball first. Edmonds-Woodway won the coin toss, deferred. They drove down 60-some yards for a 5-yard Colton Bunt touchdown. And here's Jackson. Fakes it. Play action. Now he's getting chased by Fafita. Lets it go, and it's caught over on the far side by number 24, and that's Calvin Neely.
Yeah, and the quarterback did a great job because Malachi Fafita was right on his tail right there and kind of got rid of it at the last second. Heads-up play by the QB.
And Jackson has been coming on just stronger and stronger, making very good decisions this last half of the season here. This ends regular season play, and it's 2nd and short, 2nd and 2 now on the Glacier Peak 32-yard line. Jackson gets it to Reinfurt. Reinfurt, this time I
think he's got it. He's going to be right. I think it's going to be right about at the mark. Yeah, they're probably going to. Are they calling that 3rd?
They're saying 3rd down, that line judge.
Boy, I'll tell you what, they need to measure that because by looking at it here, that's right on the line.
Our referees tonight, Jerry Koster, Mike Cope, Mike Doler, Ross Lowe, and Robert Bombish.
I'm actually surprised they're not measuring that from this angle. It looks like he's got it.
I know, 3rd and inches. Jackson under center. He fakes it at 3rd and inches, and he goes deep down, and it's touchdown Warriors! Number 7, David Woodard, and one of their more accomplished receivers got behind the defense, Tim, and it's touchdown Edmonds-Woodway.
You got to give a lot of credit to the offensive coordinator there because he calls a great play. I think Glacier Peak's thinking for sure they're going to run that ball without a doubt on 3rd and inches.
And nice pass by Jackson right over the defender.
Laid that in the perfect spot.
31-yard touchdown for Edmonds-Woodway. And Jake Stevenson on for the extra point. It's up, and it is good.
Also, good response there by Edmonds-Woodway.
So with 4:11 left, championship WESCO 3A South in the balance here. Presented by Gilpin Realty. We'll be back with more after this. We're back here, STSPN, 4 minutes, 11 seconds in the first quarter. All tied up, Tim Boyle.
Just what you wanted, right?
It is. You wanted a good game, but again, the defense, we were kind of giving them a bunch of props, and then they let Edmonds-Woodway go down and score right away.
Well, that was a pretty methodical little march down the field, too. That I got to say, that 3rd and inches play, that was a great call.
Great call. Stevenson kicks it off. Scribber on the ground, picked up there. Coming back to 30 now with some room. Again, it's Smith. Ethan Smith has done a very good job. He gets across the 40 to the 41. Good field position for GP.
Yeah, and he would have been a good pick for the sleeper pick this year.
That's
because
right.
He kind of came out of nowhere. We weren't expecting him to have a big year, and he's having a great year.
With 4:04, do you want to pick your sleeper tonight?
Well, let's see. My sleeper, it's a little late, isn't it?
It is, but I'm going to give you, you missed a couple games. You're a little rusty.
It's not really a sleeper, but my prediction is Guffey's going to have a breakout game tonight. And, but that's not really going out on a limb too much, but he's been a little quiet the last couple games.
Woolhoff in motion. He has. We'll see. Ziomas gets it to Carter. Carter doesn't like the middle, so he breaks it outside. Look out, Carter, across the 45 to the 44.
And I love how Dexter's just going right at people this year. Last year he was kind of making he wasn't kind of reading the defense correctly, and he was making some bad cuts. And this year he's got that dialed in.
That's an Umpqua Bank first down for Dexter. Look out, Carter. 3:53, tied 7-7. First series, Glacier Peak, a 5-yard pass from Ziomas to bunt. 1st and 10. Now at Warriors territory on the 44. Get again to Carter. Carter around the near side. Cuts the corner. Now to the 50, the 25, and he bounces out of bounds, and he says to Spencer Schultz, how you doing?
And again, goes right at him. Doesn't even try to avoid him. Just tries to run him right over. Good heads-up play by the senior.
And another Umpqua Bank first down.
I like how Dexter turns the corner this year, too.
Some authority, and that'll have a timeout on the field by Edmonds-Woodway. They've seen enough. They want to talk about it, and we'll take a Fred's Rivertown Ale House timeout. 7-7, 3:32 left on STSPN.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds-Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
All right, out of the timeout, first quarter here, Glacier Peak 1st and 10 at the Warrior 25-yard line. Ziomas, Carter, it's been all Carter so far in this series. He bounces outside, and he'll get maybe a yard.
Good tackle there by number 73. And it has been kind of all Carter right now. It is senior night.
Let's go down to our Edmonds Community College sideline reporter. Let's not go down. I'm getting waved off by Leslie McLean. We got to say hi to Ronnie. Come on, the wedge. We haven't said hello yet.
Come on, Leslie.
Come on, why don't you call this play, Ron? 2nd and 8. Ziomas pitches it now to Carter on the left side.
It's coming back.
Cuts it up. There's a flag on the far side. Ron the Wedge Henthorne, what's going on down there?
Offsides, guys. Interesting game we got here. 7-7 as we're closing down on the end of this first period. We got a ball game on our hands down here. One thing I've noticed, I don't know if you can see it from up there or not, but Dexter Carter a couple of different times trying to go upfield in the middle of the line, but just can't get through, and that's why he's swinging it to the outside. So look for him to do more of that here when they get the ball again right back now. So let's see what we can do. Back to you.
Thank you,
Ron.
So I think that was a 5-yard penalty against Glacier Peak, some type of procedure penalty.
2nd and 13. Ziomas. Now back to pass. Going to flip it out to Carter. Carter bobbles it but catches it, but it was right there. Edmonds-Woodway lucky to hang on to that ball.
Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised. It's like every play is going to Dexter Carter tonight.
And that again is Logan Lambert on the tackle for Edmonds-Woodway. This defense, we talked about it, they have played well off and on. Big challenge for them here.
Yeah, now they're facing 3rd and 13, so likely to go up in the air here. You got trips on the left side.
2 minutes here in the first quarter. Is your favorite down and distance, 3rd and a mile. Ziomas going downtown. Double coverage. Who comes down with it? They're saying it's a touchback.
What?
Guffey has the ball, and they're saying it's Edmonds-Woodway.
Really?
Ball? Are you kidding me?
Let's see the replay.
And we might have to
This is one of those Golden Tate incidences.
What is going on? Guffey came out with the ball.
They're calling it an interception and a touchback.
And here's the replay. We'll see if we get it. And 28 comes down with it. It's hard to tell. I don't know if Todd kind of slowed it down there. That's Noah Becker.
Usually the tie there goes to the offense.
Interesting call here as they were on the 28-yard line.
Wow.
It turns it over. They're stopped.
And Guffey obviously came out with the ball, so I'm kind of surprised on the call there.
They run it up.
Didn't work there.
Let's go down to our Edmonds Community College sideline reporter Ron the Wedge. What did you see? What happened down there, Ron?
Yeah, I was right down here on the goal line on that pass, and it was clearly an interception, possession of the ball down to the ground beyond the goal line. And the head linesman called it an interception right off the bat. And when they fell to the ground, I think Guffey wrestled the ball away from him. So too late, too little too late. But good defense on that first play here now. Back to you guys.
2nd and 9. Jackson back to pass over the far side. That'll be incomplete.
Okay, well, that's a good little call by Ron there. So it was the right call.
And that's Ziomas' only 2nd interception. That one he's in double coverage, but it's Guffey. It's kind of like the Jimmy Graham thing. You got to let him, 9 times out of 10, he's going to make the play.
Exactly. Well, it was kind of underthrown. If that was thrown a little bit higher, Guffey would have had a better chance at it.
So a turnover here, and Edmonds-Woodway dodges a bullet as Glacier Peak was driving. They had a 3rd and 13. And now they'll set up 3rd and 9. See what the Glacier Peak defense can do. Back to pass, and he almost gets Jackson loose. He finally lets it fly, and it's incomplete. Oh, man.
And he did an amazing job of avoiding that tackle twice, actually. And that would have been about a 15-yard loss had they actually got him there.
Sam Wyatt had him in his arms. That was Russell Wilson-esque.
It really was.
So a good stop on the interception by GP. It's 4th and 9, and Stevenson will be back to punt for Edmonds-Woodway.
See if Glacier Peak gets any type of a return here. This year they've been actually getting some returns.
They have. You got
fair catch called, but
Takes a bounce, Edmonds-Woodway. They get it right at the 46-yard line. Guffey and Smith back there. So
that's going to start on the positive side of the field for Glacier Peak, so that's good field position there.
Kind of stopped the momentum there for the Warriors, Tim. It could have, they just got a big interception. They stopped the drive, then they come back and 3 and out.
Yeah, because Glacier Peak was marching down the field there, and Edmonds-Woodway, if they want to stay in this game, they're going to need to produce some sustained drives.
It was all Carter all the time last series before the interception. We'll see what they do here. 1 minute to play here in the first quarter. 7-7 tie. Carter again up the gut. This time he makes him pay, and he gets across the 35. Boy, you just love the attitude for Dexter Lookout Carter.
He's going right, and he picks up about 11 yards, picks up the first down, and he's having quite the night. I'll tell you what, they're running everything through Dexter Carter tonight, which is a little surprising. They tend to mix it up a little more.
7 carries, 42 yards so far. That's an Umpqua Bank first down. 1st and 10 now at the Warrior 24. There's a flip out to bunt, far side bunt, and he runs out of bounds. Sorry, at the 34.
That was a great play by the quarterback there. They fake it to Dexter Carter because he's getting every ball.
And maybe that is the strategy. They're trying to set up with that play.
There's a flag on the field. I would have thought the flag might have been a little bit of extracurricular out of bounds there. So we'll see. It looks like it's coming back. It looks like it's going to be a hold. Spot of the foul.
It is a hold against Glacier Peak. Again, both teams, Edmonds-Woodway coming in. Penalties have plagued them. Glacier Peak always susceptible to penalties.
That amounts to about a 20-yard penalty there.
Coming into tonight, Glacier Peak 51 penalties for 455 yards through 7 games. This will now 1st and 14. Ziomas bumbles a snap, gets down on it. Bunt has nothing to do. Let's see what he can make. Still on his feet. A bunch of Warriors finally bring him down. That's going to be another loss, and it's the first time tonight we've seen a poor snap.
Now it's going to be probably 2nd and at least. I thought he might have lost a couple more on that, but say he lost 4 yards on that play. So now you're looking at 2nd and 18. Boy, you go from being down at about the 17-yard line down there, and you're back at the 38 now.
That's going to do it for first quarter here. WESCO 3A South Championship on STSPN, presented by Gilpin Realty. We'll back with second quarter action after these words. Okay, we're back. Scott Oshman, Tim Boyle, Ron the Wedge Henthorne, the STSPN crew. Replay Rob in the house, Johnny McLean, Leslie McLean. Flip it over to Guffey, just like you were talking, Tim. Gets it, bowls over a Warrior, and gets a lot of yards made up there for Justin the Hitman Guffey.
Yeah, and he made up about 16 of those 18 that we needed. So now you got a manageable 3rd down, probably about 3rd and 2 maybe.
Justin the Hitman put a hit on Zach Jamal.
And like I said, we've been talking. They need to get the ball in his hands, and things happen.
Ziomas, the freshman, Now Guffey stretches out. Bunt now in the slot. Hatch in there. Trips right. Screen over to Guffey. Now he's going to fake it. Now Guffey passes it in the end zone to Hatch. Touchdown. No, he dropped it. Oh, baby.
I like the play call, though. Some trickery.
Some tomfoolery.
And you see Guffey just kind of took his time back there waiting for that play to open up, and it was right there.
Hatch, I'm sure he has had some big catches. I'm sure he wants out. You're seeing on the replay right now. Looked like he had it for a second. I don't know if the defender got in there.
I thought he had it too.
So 4th and 4, but not a hard decision to go for it here.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer for Rowe.
We'll keep our eye on the Lake Stevens Kamiak game going on.
National TV tonight.
ESPNU. We've been national worldwide. I don't know what the big deal is, Tim.
Well, and Jacob Eason really made his debut on STSPN.
That's
as a freshman,
true.
So
that's fact right there. Ziomas, Carter. Can he get a blocker? Turns the corner. He gets an Umpqua bank first down and punishes a Warrior as he does it. Look out, Carter.
He is physical. And the key to Dexter is he's making that turn at the right time. He's got the speed to get around that corner, and then he just makes things happen. Very physical this year. I like it.
And there's a timeout on the field. Again, Edmonds-Woodway wants their second timeout as we've just started the 11 minutes here in the second quarter. 7-7 tie. We'll break away for a minute. Glacier Peak football presented by Gilpin Realty on STSPN. It is all Dexter Carter so far, 7-7 tie. This one decides who gets the first seed in WESCO South 3A.
Dexter Carter on his way to a 100-yard game tonight. 8 carries, 49 yards. He's averaging 6.1 yards a carry, so the senior's having a big night tonight.
That's about what he averages coming in tonight on the season. 1st and 10, a big Umpqua bank first down on 4th and 4. Ziomas now flips it over to Carter, and Carter can't hang on. And
had him there. Dexter just needed to hold on to that.
Talked about the coaches again. That's something that Dexter continues to work on. They were without, again, Ian Black. When Ian Black went down, Carter picked up most of the carries coming in, and one of the things Ian Black, again, he's very versatile. He's very comfortable receiving the ball, running the ball. Should see him on.
We will see him later tonight for sure.
We should see him. 2nd and 10. Ziomas, the freshman back. Big rush, almost gets rid of it. Now he does. Over, and it's Carter catches that one! Speak of the devil! Grizzly touchdown. Dexter, look out, Carter. That's our McDaniels Do-It Center touchdown.
And Dexter made up for that miss just a second ago. And you notice Ziomas put that. He waited. If you notice the hesitation, they had people coming at him, and he waited for the perfect time to get that out.
I didn't see if he took a shot or not on that, but that's a 20-yard pass play. Touchdown for Glacier Peak on an interesting drive. Kevin Ramsey, kicker Kev there for the extra point. It's good. And let's go down to our Edmonds Community College sideline opponent, Ron the Henthorn Wedge. Ron the Wedge Henthorn.
Well, I got to tell you guys, I was standing down here on the sideline when Ziomas let that ball go. And Dexter Carter was probably on about the 10-yard line about the time he let it go. He threw it right at the corner. Perfect pass, perfect timing. Couldn't be better. I loved it. I would like to see it again. Back to you guys.
Well, if you were watching on STSPN on your phone, you would have, Ron. Come on, man.
The people back at home did get to see it again.
Here it is again. Ziomas hangs in there. He does just get crushed right when he releases the ball, and it's a beauty.
He really took one for the team there, waited to the perfect time.
We've talked about it. We were talking about pregame. He's not a large kid,
No,
Ziomas.
He's not. He goes for 5'9", 150. But keep in mind, he's only a freshman. He's like 12 years old. He's going to grow into that.
Baby Z. Maybe we'll call him Baby Z. Kicker Kev gets it off to the Warriors, and that's run up, and there's Kranz, 42 in the middle of that, around the 26-yard line, again taken back by Anthony
How about
Lindemuth.
Ricky Kranz having the year he's having?
Oh.
He was kind of a sleeper, too.
He's the mini truck.
Yes.
Again, we had him at 100 pounds for about 2 games until his mother told us that was wrong.
Yep, you got scolded.
But that's Johnny Mack back there. You say, hey, that's the coach's fault.
That's right.
Whoever gives him the roster, we're just reading the roster.
Hey, it's garbage in, garbage out.
That's right. 10:45 left, up a touchdown. Edmonds-Woodway, though, they have had success. This pass over to Woodard again on the far side. He'll pick up 6 or 7. And David Woodard, he's a good-looking receiver, 6'3", senior, 190.
Yep. And you got to just get the ball out there to him.
If you just joined us, 10:22 here left in the first half. It's senior night at Glacier Peak. 14-7 Glacier Peak, and tackled in the backfield.
It's a fumble.
Is it a fumble?
That ball came out. Nobody saw it. Oh,
there's a flag now.
Uh-oh. I don't know who that's going to be on.
Ball carrier was Heron.
The ball actually did come out, but nobody saw it. They were just kind of sitting there. I think it's
good. Ron, did you happen to get a good look at that? Ronnie, did you see if it popped out? As we see the personal foul on Glacier Peak.
I didn't see what happened, except there was a foul on Glacier Peak. They were trying to wrestle the ball away from him down there. So guess the linesman didn't like that.
And that's going to be that's a big penalty because it's going to give them 15 yards and a first down where they lost some yards there.
So we'll see. 1st and 10, as Tim just said. Big break there for the Warriors. Jackson, the quarterback, gets it off now. Kind of a sweep run, and a nice big hit there by Ian Black.
And he's back in the game.
And Kevin Neely got introduced to him quickly. Good to see Ian
Welcome to
back.
the party there, Ian.
Talking to the coaches before the Mount Lake Terrace, they both head coach and defense coordinator Steve Hannon, they said his instincts, and we saw it against Bellevue, is remarkable. One of the few they have seen in their many years of coaching.
And he's actually deceptively fast too.
2nd and 12 for Edmonds-Woodway. Jackson under center, and now somebody
that's
jumps.
A false start though. I think he was drawn, so we'll see what the referee says about that.
Reed Whitson,
false
tight
start.
end.
It is going to back him up 5 yards. Now you're looking at 2nd and 17, so they're getting them kind of back to where they were a couple minutes ago. Telling you what, the composure of the game changes a little bit when Ian Black is in the game.
It is.
He's kind of a game changer.
And that's what happened against Bellevue. I mean, it's very clear. 6-18 in the third quarter. He goes out in injury, and it was just a different team. 9 minutes left to go in the first half. 2nd and 17 from their own 39. Jackson gets it to Reinford. He's banged in there.
I think it was Ian Black hit him again.
And Black looks like he's just happy to be back.
Jeez. Back in Black?
I was waiting for you. I teed that one up.
You did.
Yeah.
Hey. One of the best party albums of all time.
I just can hear the music right now. Let's get the hi-hat. Come on now, Tom.
I'm up here shaking my head like Angus Young, by the way.
3rd and 14. Is that your trivia question? Did you just give it away? Fake the pass.
Oh! Welcome to the party. Oh, my.
And that's big boy McCoy.
Holy moly.
We are slowing that
we're gonna
replay
see
down.
that again.
Past to Woodard, and he said, ouch, mama.
Let's take a look at it again.
Here's the pass, and McCoy.
Oh, and he just dehumanized him on that play.
Yikes.
Oh, my.
4th and 10, and that'll send the punter in, Stevenson.
Who do you got in the back? It looks like you got Colton Bunt back there, right? And I think it's Bunt and Guffey. Pick your poison right there.
Yes, sir.
Jeez.
It looks like Guffey, fair catch right at the last second at the 20-yard line.
That was a good call to fair catch that because that guy was all over him.
Oh, I have a feeling Todd Elvigar, who's spinning the dials, you're going to see that one on the YouTube channel as a highlight reel. Big boy McCoy.
Man, that was.
I can't. Yowza.
It hurts to watch that thing.
I want to apologize for everyone. We were.
I thought this was a family show here.
I just blew out the mics on that.
Man.
Golly, that was a hit.
That was one of the best hits of the year so far.
That was.
Oh, and Todd's arguing that Jacob Elvig got the best hit of the year, but I don't know. It's going to be controversial. It's going to be.
Yeah, yours was Jacob, who's played sensational, and Glacier Peak takes a timeout. Look, we're going to discuss this in the booth. Let's get it to our good friends downtown Snohomish, the best Asian nachos this side of the Rockies. I don't know. Fred's Rivertown Ale House. We'll be back in a minute. 14-7 GP on STSPN. The booth still shaking from the Andrew Big Boy McCoy hit on the last Edmonds-Woodway series. 1st and 10 for Glacier Peak from their own 20. Man, I can't wait to see that again. Woolhoff in motion, fakes to Carter. Ziomis across the middle. It's caught at the 45 and the 50. It's Guppy still on his feet. Now getting wrestled down to the 40-yard line. A huge play. 50-yard completion to Guffey.
And Guffey's getting active just like we predicted. And he's not afraid to keep running after he catches that ball either. He's not going down. He's allergic to gravity.
He is. 40-yard completion. My math always subject going to Arizona State University, so I apologize. That was a 40-yard completion and an Umpqua Bank first down. We trade, right?
You were close.
Uh-oh. Oh, Ziomis has to fall on it. I don't know. I think that might have been Ziomis.
I think it was a little. I thought I saw some laundry on the field. Oh, no, it was he threw his marker down because it was a fumble.
One thing we want to watch is I saw that play on the Glacier Peak, the right end. You got Howard, Brendan Howard. He's working on big 88. And we talked to Keith Neely, the voice of the Edmonds-Woodway Warriors, before the game. Ollie Gay, number 88, 6'5", 240.
Yeah, he's got his hands full tonight. He's doing a pretty good job, I have to say.
2nd and 14. They let him come. Now the screen to
it
Carter.
Might be a problem.
Dexter, look out, Carter. He finally is brought down inside the 10, and Carter's fired up.
Man, and he has got the afterburners going tonight. He's fighting for player of the game.
He
it's
wants
a battle
it.
Out there.
I think he's won it once. There's Carter. "36-yard run by Dexter Carter."
And he's having a career night tonight.
1st and goal from the 10. Ziomis, empty set. Woolhoff on the near side along with Hatch. As they look over, you have Carter now far out the far side wide out. Guffey and Alex Garrett in the slot. Here comes Gay. Ollie, but he get it over to Carter. Makes one guy miss.
He's in.
And he's in. Touchdown, Dexter Carter. Second tonight. First one was through the air. This one's through the ground.
Wow.
Our McDaniels Do-It Center touchdown. Dexter, look out, Carter.
Tonight's kind of the Dexter Carter show.
Really is.
You could just see he was getting in when he beat that one. When he beat that one DB.
Abdul Jada. He juked Jada.
Oh, it was him. Yeah.
10-yard pass.
And how about Ziomas with the 3 touchdowns tonight?
Unbelievable. He is a stat stuffer, phenom freshman. Aiden Ziomas, 9 for 13, 159 yards, 3 touchdowns, as you said, as long as 40 yards with 1 INT, which I don't know if that was completely his fault, but it was, it was a rough pass. But Ziomas is sensational.
We need to go down to Ron and see what's going on down there.
Edmonds Community College sideline reporter Ron the Wedge Henthorn. Ronnie?
I don't think we can get. Did Ron come in? I don't think we got Ron.
Ron! He was having a sandwich. I don't know what he's doing down there. Ron, what's happening?
Hey, I'm down here, guys. I was actually listening in on a little conversation between Coach Rowe and the head linesman there. He's talking about something went wrong on an extra point. I think they were offsides, but he laughed about it and walked away. But hey, how about that Dexter Carter back-to-back TDs on the corners over there? Beautiful run.
Yeah, I thought you were on your phone buying a Dexter Carter jersey or something.
Yeah, he's my boy tonight so far.
Is he your early player of the game?
Yeah, he's my early player right now, but we got some tough stuff going on with the other guys out here, too.
24 brings it back up. Sorry, Ronnie.
You got Ian Black down there and Bunt out there doing some good stuff, and not to be outdone is that sweet little Z quarterback we got out there. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Ron.
Nobody does it like the Wedge.
Nobody. Don't even try, actually.
He's famous out there.
He is.
In the community.
We get stopped. I'm just, we're walking down the street, and the Wedge, and people don't know who we are. They don't care, which is fine. They go right to the Wedge. They want an autograph.
And then people ask me, hey, do you know the Wedge?
Maybe we should be selling Wedge jerseys.
Totally.
1st and 10 for Edmonds-Woodway. Jackson gets it to Reinfurt. Breaks out to the near side now. He's chased by Bunt, and Bunt has to bring him down, the big fella.
Man, and Bunt tracked him down from behind and kind of tackled him with some authority. Saved another 20 yards probably.
That's an Umpqua Bank first down for Edmonds-Woodway. Boy, we were 7-7. It was a little heavyweight battle there, punching back and forth. And then Glacier Peak, boom, they get the touchdown again, one of Carter's touchdowns. And then Edmonds-Woodway was traveling down to score, and then big boy McCoy put a huge hit, and it's been all Glacier Peak.
Sucked the life out of him.
Handoff now again to the big fella on the left side. Their workhorse, Tyler Reinfurt. And he'll gain 2, and now a flag.
Another flag. I wonder, these typically, they're pointing towards Edmonds-Woodway, so that's going to be an unsportsmanship-like call either way, no matter which way it goes. Personal. Oh, what's he saying? Yeah,
unsportsmanship. Dead ball.
Edmonds-Woodway.
Yeah, what was that chicken call, Tim? I'm not familiar with that.
You usually see them kind of hit his arm. It's
unsportsman. Replay Rob knows it. Is it the same in every sport?
No, in the NFL they call it a personal foul, and they do a different signal there. They do the chop against the arm. Costly penalty there.
That is.
And Keith Neely told us that's been a little bit of a problem for him.
He was saying it could have cost them the Meadowdale game again if they were to lose this game. They lost head-to-head, so that would, and if Meadowdale beats Shorecrest, that would put them in first place. Jackson going long for Woodard. There's a lot of holding there.
That's going to be a flag.
Yeah, and that's Logan Reeder, and he tries to help him up, and Woodard doesn't want anything of it.
That's Logan D. Snyder Weaver. He just wants to rock.
The only issue with that is that anybody below the age of what? I don't even know,
How do you
40,
not-
35?
But he's a spitting image with that hair
He
coming
is.
out. That is D. Snyder, ladies and gentlemen. He's not going to take it anymore.
He's not. All I want to do, what'd you say?
He just wants to rock.
That's exactly right.
I can remember the video. I can see the video right now.
Do you want to do? I wish we had a camera in the booth. This is excellent. Excellent radio, TV right now.
Remember the teacher coming up yelling
Oh,
at
yeah.
him? What are you going to do with your life?
Oh, yeah.
I just want to rock.
I just want to rock.
That's
D. Snyder.
Logan Weaver, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, statistician Johnny Mack's playing the. What did you say?
Yeah,
He's correcting the quote.
Well, we're
from
splitting hairs here.
4:32 left in the first half. 21-7 Glacier Peak here on this WESCO 3A South. Just happens to be for the number 1 seed. And they, as usual in high school, God bless them, we love them, but they take about an hour, it feels like, to make calls and execute them.
Yeah, they do a little powwow, it seems, every time.
Trying to get the big ESPNU game up here, Lake Stevens Kamiak. Handoff again here, and that's number 3 now getting the carry, and that's Henry Tillman.
And Ian Black tripped him up in the backfield, too. So Ian Black all over the place tonight.
3rd and 5 for the Warriors on their own 46-yard line. They had some momentum here early going, and I tell you, ever since that big boy McCoy hit, see what happens here. 3rd and 5. They scored on a 3rd and 1. Play action. Crans chasing. Gets it off, and it's caught by Neely. And he gets an Umpqua Bank first down. That's a gutsy play rolling to his left for Jackson, the quarterback.
Yeah, well executed, too.
Big pickup there.
He's actually a pretty impressive quarterback.
4 for 7, 49 yards.
Hasn't made any real big mistakes tonight.
5 for 8 now as they update. 63 yards. That was a 14-yard completion. Important series for Edmonds-Woodway.
Uh-oh.
Going deep to Woodard. He caught it! What a catch by Woodard.
He put that in the perfect spot. He was actually decently covered by D. Snyder there.
Logan Weaver on his back, draped. And Woodard is a outstanding receiver, and right down to the 19-yard line with 3:28 left. Now Edmonds-Woodway, they've used 2 timeouts so far. GP1, and here comes Logan Weaver off the field. They put Carter over on Woodard now. Jackson fakes the handoff. Now he rolls left. He's going to tuck it and run. Makes one guy miss, and he's out of bounds. All that for about a gain of a yard, brought down by Bunt.
Bunt and Carter in with the assist there. A lot of work there for 1 yard.
2nd and 10 here. 2:55 in the first half. Stay tuned for our Action Jackson Plumbing halftime show.
Well, I'll tell you what, Edmonds-Woodway's in a spot right now where they're going to have to score here to stay in this game because the offense doesn't show any signs of slowing down right now for GP.
Not at all. Neely and Woodard now on the near side. They change it up. They get the ball to number 3, and he kind of falls forward for a nice gain, and he's gotten a couple carries, Henry Tillman.
Now that's going to give him a little more manageable 3rd down, 3rd and probably 2 or 3.
They still have 1 timeout left. The clock going down to 2:15 here in the first half.
Plenty of time to get some points on the board. Problem is if they do it too fast, they're going to give Glacier Peak another chance.
Right. 3rd and 4 now at the GP 13-yard line. Isaac Jackson, the quarterback, under center. Fakes the handoff, rolls to the near side. Now he tucks it. He's going to run. He's got daylight. He is going to get in for a Warrior touchdown. Our McDaniels Do-It Center touchdown, Edmonds-Woodway, Isaac Jackson.
Yeah, and just like that, now it's all of a sudden a ball game again where it looks like Glacier Peak's running away with it at 21-7. Now all of a sudden you got a game. Glacier Peak You can almost guarantee that Rowe's going to be trying to put some more points on the board with 1:47 left. Though.
Oh, for sure.
He doesn't know the term "run out the clock."
No, he doesn't. Stevenson on for the extra point. Again, last year, if you missed it, there's a fumbled snap. Stevenson picks it up, twirls, and he's tackled down by Ricky Kranz and Bunt and the gang, and so that could be critical down the road.
That's very costly.
A bad snap there.
It does fit right into my prediction.
It does, 42-13. We're going to step away is the point. Tim can tell me how his prediction is going to be right. 1:47 left to hear in this first half, 21-13 STSPN. That's our Adrenaline fundraising commercial. It's a good one, and we will name an Adrenaline fundraiser player of the game.
There's some people fighting for it right now.
Yes. Well, Dexter Carter is...
He's probably the front runner.
Boy, he is playing at another level.
Oh,
Stevenson. It's touched, and Glacier Peak has to fall on it, and I think Argue did.
That was actually a well-executed onside kick. They just drilled it at the line, hoping it's going to bounce off somebody. It's good strategery right there.
Very nicely done. Zach Argue, again, he's had some huge moments on defense.
The problem is now you give it to Glacier Peak, though, with the short clock. You're giving it to him with a short field, too.
And Ziomas, again, a great night. 9 for 13, 159 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's already got a 40-yard pass to Guffey. 1:47 left. They got 2 timeouts left. Carter to his left. Ziomas back to pass. Now he's going to flip it again to Carter. Carter on the 50 now, run out of bounds wisely down the clock at 1:41, and Umpqua Bank first down.
And that first defensive back, it looked like Carter had there wasn't even a thought that guy was going to tackle him. Just kind of ran right by him.
And
Edmonds-Woodway is probably taking a timeout.
They're taking their last timeout. We'll take a Fred's Rivertown Alehouse timeout. Glacier Peak, Edmonds-Woodway, 21-13 on STSPN.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds-Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
Closing minutes here of the first half. Glacier Peak 1st and 10. Ziomas back to pass. Goes deep over to Guffey on the far side. It's caught down at the 27.
A beautiful catch by the hitman. He had to kind of go fight for that one.
23-yard play there for the hitman Guffey.
And Guffey's fighting for player of the game too.
Now
it's a battle.
Now on the 23-yard line. An Umpqua Bank first down. Minute 26 left. Ziomas back to pass again, looking left. And it's tipped up front and almost picked off. That time, Big 67 got his paws on it.
Yeah, but the thing about that is he had some time back there, so great job by the offensive line. we don't give them enough credit, but tonight we're going to try. But he sat back there in a nice comfort zone.
If you're not watching the ESPNU game, Lake Stevens, which we predicted, big hurt, 28-0 so far in the second quarter over the Kamiak Knights on ESPNU.
Easton's still committed to Georgia, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That is correct.
I wonder if that's going to stick.
I think it will. He signed the paperwork and everything. Doesn't mean he couldn't change. 2nd and 10 here. See if Glacier Peak can get another score. Ziomas over the middle, bobbled by Bunt, and incomplete. Brings up 3rd and 10.
Doesn't cost him but a couple seconds there. So
minute 17 left here in the first half. Spencer Schultz there trying to get Bunt to think better of catching that ball.
You know Rowe's not thinking 3 here. He's
No.
thinking 7.
Ramsey not having a lot of opportunities this season for field goals.
No, they're scoring too many touchdowns.
Guffey on the far side. Ziomas, 3rd and 10, back to pass. Now he tucks it up. He breaks back out like he's going to run. Now he is going to run. Gets to the 15 and out of bounds at the 12 or 13-yard line.
Wow, and what a heads-up play. He kind of got out of a bunched-up pocket there and kind of bounced off a couple people. That was a great. They're saying it's 4th down. I thought he picked it up. It looked like he kind of reached the ball out like Russell Wilson does.
Yeah.
4th and inches, they're saying. I'd call for a measurement there.
I'm
calling a measurement.
Here I'm okay taking a timeout, and that's exactly what he does. We gave Rowe a hard time in the Bellevue for the Bellevue timeout there after the score, but we will step away at Fred's Rivertown Ale House. Minute 8 left to go in the first half. We'll see what Glacier Peak, 4th and 1 on STSPN.
Your dreams evolve, and with committed support, they thrive. American Family Insurance.
Scott Oshman, Tim Boyle, a lot of controversy in the replay. Rob is standing up. He's fired up about this.
He's getting all worked up, and I think I got him worked up because that looks like a first down. I haven't seen him this worked up since the Super Bowl and the call at the end of the game.
Yeah.
We don't want to get him started.
No,
on that
nobody wants that.
But I'm telling you, it should be measuring this ball here.
4th and 1. They got Ian Black in the back. Gets the ball. Black and Umpqua Bank first down. Crushes it and tumbles to the 9 for a first down.
Now they see if GP uses a timeout here.
They have one left.
Edmonds-Woodway's kind of dragging their feet here.
The clock hasn't started yet. 1:02 left in the half.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They stopped the clock.
So 1st and goal now, and they'd spread it out. And Swims in at quarterback. He fakes it to Black over the cut. Is it caught? It is! Dexter Carter, swim to Carter. Touchdown!
And Dexter Carter's got the hat trick tonight.
Oh, my goodness.
3 touchdowns in the first half for Aubrey Carter.
And just like that, a little sleight of hand, Jackson Swim, the sophomore, comes in and throws to Dexter Carter. We got to go down to Ron. What in the heck is going on?
Surprised to see Swim in there as well as you were, but I think I might ask that question of Rower and I get him back here at halftime.
Kevin Ramsey, good hole by Plank, and that's up and good. And boy, there wasn't much time when they had the ball, but like you said, Rose never met a 2-minute drill he didn't like.
Yeah.
And they go down and punch it in from their own 48.
And we talked about that a minute ago. The only problem with Edmonds-Woodway scoring back there is they left GP a little bit too much time on the clock. They actually had 52 seconds to play with there, and a couple timeouts.
They
could
tell
have
you,
scored like 3 times.
And Dexter Carter, I mean, is he going to take the game ball? I mean, you're talking about Ziomas. He's had an awesome game, but we got a whole half to play. But our Adrenaline fundraising player of the game, are you kidding me?
Yeah, and that's isn't that 4 touchdowns by Ziomas now?
No, because that was Swim.
Oh, that
Swim
okay,
came
yeah,
in.
That's right.
Maybe that's why they didn't
Yeah.
want Ziomas to get too full of
They
himself.
were padding his stats.
Only 3 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns by the GP quarterbacks tonight in the first half.
The kickoff here with 52 seconds left, taken at the 20-yard line. Breaks 1 tackle now, stumbles up the middle again. I think that's big number 19, Anthony Lindemood for Edmonds-Woodway.
So now with 46 seconds, Edmonds-Woodway is really in a position where they can't just take a knee.
No.
They're going to have to try to do something here. Now that's always a little dangerous too when you're making a couple desperate plays.
Yes.
So they're going to have to look for a possible turnover here on the Steve Hannon's defense.
Isaac Jackson, the quarterback for Edmonds-Woodway, been very good tonight. Reinford's been okay. They've held him in check, and they pitch it to Reinford. Now he pitches it, the flea flicker, back to Jackson. They're going back to Reinford deep, and he catches it, and he fumbles it after it's an incomplete. He had the ball. McCoy was there.
I think McCoy kind of hit him right at the end and made that ball come loose.
You're kind of seeing it on the replay. Maybe Todd can run that back one more time. The flea flicker back to Jackson. Reinford's open. And, yeah, it looks like he had it when he hit the ground. He lost it.
Yeah, it looked like McCoy kind of came right over the top of him at the last second there. That should have been a catch and a big gain there.
Good play call again by
I like
Edmonds-Woodway. Yes, Coach Gradwall. 38 seconds now. They're on their own 28. This time they just give it up the middle. Reinford. And he gets a first down to the 39, and that'll stop the clock.
Edmonds-Woodway doesn't have used up all their timeouts, most of them early. So they're going to have 31 seconds to play with here.
And now they start the clock. Jackson tries to get him set. And they get a bang to Reinford up the middle, not much there. Gets a couple, and the clock is going at 18 seconds. Now I don't know if they can stop it.
I think they're pretty much fine with letting it go down.
Now, do you think they'll try and go for one, or they're just going to give it?
But
he fakes it, goes back. McCoy almost gets there. Now he goes down.
Was that Ian Black that came in? No.
It is Ian Black,
Is it Ian
34.
Black? Oh, my.
As the clock runs out here in the first half, you see the replay exclusive on STSPN. And with that, we're going to go to our Action Jackson Plumbing halftime call. We'll go down to Ron Henthorne, who should have head coach Rory Rosenbaugh with our GP booster winner, Heidi Pinnell.
What kind of question are they going to ask?
And we'll go down to Ron Henthorne. Ron the Wedge Henthorne. We're at halftime, 28-13, Glacier Peak. Ronnie?
All right, Ron Henthorne down here with Coach Rory. Never a dull moment with you down there on that last touchdown.
No, that was fun. It's fun when that stuff works.
Yeah,
sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
So you put swim in there for that. Is that one thing you plan to do, or how would that work out?
Yeah, we like to be able to do that out of our Panther package because we don't have to. We can go into a spread deal when we're in a heavy run set and hopefully get them misaligned, and it worked. So.
Worked that time. So are you a little surprised they put 13 points up against you?
No, they're a really good football team, and they run the ball, and they're very disciplined, and they do a good job. And you know, we felt like they got away with a hold there on that one, but it was they're doing a good job. We got to stop the quarterback from getting to the edge. But other than that, I feel like we're playing pretty good considering what these guys do. You know, they're a really good football team.
Yeah, I saw the hold down there too, but I guess the linesman didn't see it.
You know, that's how it goes.
That's okay. So I've got Heidi down here. Good friend of yours, I think, maybe. And Heidi's got a good question for you. What's your question, Heidi?
I was just wondering, how sad are you going to be to lose all these great senior players?
You know what? It really is. That's a great question, by the way, Spinell. Every year is really, really hard to watch those guys that you've grown with for 4 years, and you've seen them go from little freshman boys to men. But it's exciting, too, to watch them go out into the world and see what they're going to do, you know. And this group is no different. This group has definitely been a special group that we've really enjoyed, and we're going to see how long we can make this thing last for them. So, thank you.
All right, well, good luck in the second half. Going to run with the same start you did?
Well, we might change it up on you. We got to keep you on your toes.
You got to keep me always on my toes. Good luck, Roar. Thanks, bud. All right, thanks, Heidi. Ron Henthorn down here with Heidi. Great question, Heidi. And back to you, Scott.
Thanks.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Great questions there.
Great
Ron.
question. And Heidi Pinnell, our Glacier Peak Booster winner, the auction winner, hanging out with the STSPN. And she's now a celebrity. You know that, Tim, because she's hanging out with the wedge.
Anybody that hangs out with the wedge is a celebrity.
That'll send us in 28-13 Glacier Peak into our Action Jackson Plumbing halftime show. And we'll be back. We'll see you. And you're going to see all the replays, our exclusive replays. We'll have more right after this on Snohomish Times Sports Network. All right, we're back with the Action Jackson Plumbing halftime show. Glacier Peak with a 28-13 lead over Edmonds-Woodway here for the WESCO 3A South, what will be the first seed. Scott Oshman along with Tim Boyle. Tim, run us through some statistics there for the first half. It was an interesting first half.
Well, it was, and there's a lot of things going on. Zioma's having a great game tonight, about almost 200 yards passing with 3 touchdowns. They threw Schwim in there for a nice touchdown at the end of the half. And, we talked about Edmonds-Woodway needing to score there at the end of the half, but they left just a little bit too much time on the clock, which we kind of predicted that.
And they burned 2 timeouts earlier in the half, which could have helped them there. But nonetheless, they're going to get the ball to start the second.
Yeah, and then you got Dexter Carter having a monster night tonight. He's got himself 3 touchdowns tonight, and he's got 86 yards in the air and 49 yards on the ground. Guffey's got 101 yards already in the first half, so he's having himself a good game. You got Ian Black having a monster game in the backfield or on defense. Yeah.
And then he came in to get that big first down, which led to the 9-yard pass from Swim to Carter.
Yep. So, lots of things going on down there. A lot of people fighting for that player of the game tonight. You got 4 legitimate contenders right now.
And as Keith Neely told us, the voice of the Edmonds-Woodway Warriors before the game, I mean, I tell you, Isaac Jackson, he is got some moxie back there. I mean, he scored that great little bootleg touchdown. He has gotten out of trouble and is very nice throwing the ball on the run. I mean, he's got some good decisions back there.
And you're exactly right. And what I'd say about him is he's not making any mistakes at all. He's very composed, not making any big mistakes. So they're still in this game. I mean,
absolutely,
it's anybody's ball game. They're capable of scoring 2 touchdowns and getting right back in it.
And one of the plays of that first half for Glacier Peak fans, Andrew Big Boy McCoy, he put a hit on Woodard. That everybody heard that around a mile radius around Veterans Memorial Stadium.
Well, we are worldwide here.
Yes, we are. I mean, yes, the Lake Stevens Kamiak game is on national television, ESPNU, but we have a wider range.
We do. We touch more countries
around the world. We're like the Yahoo game Sunday morning on NFL.
Absolutely.
I mean, come on. We've been doing it for years. I don't know what the big deal is.
We touch all the corners of the earth here.
I know. Anyway, it's been an interesting first half. 28-13, the Action Jackson Plumbing halftime show here on STSPN. And we're going down to Ron Henthorn with the defensive coordinator, Steve Hannon. Ron?
All right, Ron Henthorn down there with Steve Hannon. Steve, they got 13 points on you, buddy.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. They're doing a lot of things on offense we didn't see on film. So we're going to have to make some adjustments at halftime. We think that we've got some things figured out, so we're going to come out and give them a shot here.
They're showing you some plays you haven't seen before?
Yeah, that's correct. They got a handful of them and a whole formation that they haven't shown on film. So they've been preparing for this game. It's pretty exciting.
Well, it's actually a pretty good game right now, and they're not out of it yet, so good luck in the second half.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate it.
And Coach Rory Rosenbach sticking up here saying good luck to Coach Hannon, too. So I've got Heidi down here.
I missed Hannon's huddle.
Do you have a question for Coach Hannon?
No wonder her. All right, Steve Hannon's going commando from Heidi. Back to you guys. We got to have a clean game out here.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Boy, it was run off the rails here at STSPN.
Where's the 7-second rule? First we had Scott with the slip tonight. Now we got the commando questions. I don't know what to do.
It's Championship Friday, man.
You never know what to expect. The rules are kind of loosey-goosey on the internet, though.
They are. The interwebs. Anything goes on the old interwebs.
Right. Gotta love it. Only here. Look at the band.
The band. You know what?
Band.
I don't know if anybody can hear me who's running camera. I think it's Josh Elvig, the original 59 for Glacier Peak on camera. There he goes.
Down there. And Glacier Peak's got a phenomenal band.
They do, and the drum corps is one of the better ones.
And I'll tell you what, the band takes a lot of commitment, too.
Oh.
And, you know, we talk about the football players and their commitment, but the band, a lot of commitment there.
I just feel bad for the parents.
I know.
They got to get up early, stay home late.
For every good band member, there's a good parent behind them.
Nobody cares about the parents.
They don't get any credit.
All right, 28-13. We'll be right back after this. You're watching Glacier Peak Football presented by Gilpin Realty on the Snohomish Times Sports Network. High school football on Friday night. The band's getting jacked up. The players getting into it. Tim Boyle. I love it.
And we're ready for the second half here. What a game so far.
This has been a good game, and that concludes our Action Jackson Plumbing halftime show. Hope you enjoyed that. As second half, this is playing for the #1 seed for WESCO 3A South. Whoever wins this, they're going to play the crossover next week, most likely against Arlington. It's kicked off to Edmonds-Woodway. Big bounce there for Jada. Jada takes it to 5. Gets upfield. Now fumble! Oh, and a lucky break for the Warriors.
Ooh, and that bounced right into one of the big guys' hands.
Number 46 at the right place at the right time.
Boy, they got a couple lucky breaks on that play.
Dominic Lawrence there. And the halftime, we're watching the ESPNU broadcast of Lake Stevens Kamiak. They're up 42-7. Jacob Eason, what a beast he has turned into, but we saw him way back when.
Our claim to fame here is he made his debut here on STSPN in that game, came in the second half and as the quarterback. Then it was all he kind of Wally pipped the other guy.
Yes, he did. They handed right up the middle there, and that's Heron. He'll take the carry, and he'll gain 2 or 3. So this is a very important series for Edmonds-Woodway here, down 28-13 as we start the second half, Tim.
Well, when Keith Neely was here in the booth a minute ago, he said they have to score here, and I tend to agree with him. They got to get some momentum back because they're going to get tired in the second half if they're on the field too much, obviously.
Second and 8. Jackson back to pass, going over, and it's overthrown, incomplete.
Guffey almost got a hand on that too.
Going for Reed Whitson. He had some zip on that ball.
Yeah, we talked about Jackson earlier. Hasn't really made any costly mistakes at all and kind of keeping Edmonds-Woodway right in this game.
Yeah, first half, they won the coin toss. Deferred. GP started. Came down 7-0, but then Jackson, a 31-yard pass to Woodard, who's one of their better, number 7, a key receiver. They punted, and then Jackson ran it in from 13, and a muffed snap. No extra point was good, and this one's Reinford now bounces up and Argue's got a hold of him, waits for his pals, and a big loss for Tyler Reinford.
Wow, little gang tackle there.
Now they'll mark him way back up because that's what they do in high school.
You get like an extra courtesy couple yards.
So that's a big series. We said how important, but they held them there. 4th and 8, they're going to be forced to punt, Tim, and that could be huge for Edmonds-Woodway, momentum and everything.
Yes. Be interesting to see if they get a punt return out of one of these guys. Oh!
Almost blocked it.
That was Ricky Kranz there, I think.
Oh, and that's Ethan Smith there, and he avoided a massive collision there at the last second.
And it looked like Ricky Kranz actually could have got to that ball. I don't know if he pulled up at the last second, but it looked like he was going to get a piece of that ball.
I don't know if we have the replay on that. 10:28 here, just the start of the second quarter. Edmonds-Woodway had to punt there on their first try. So now Glacier Peak, they scored at the end.
Who do we have at quarterback?
Let's see. That looks like Ziomas. Alex Garrett in motion. Carter to his right. 1st and 10. Oh, hammered!
Oh,
what a hit
man.
by Ollie Gay. We talked how they contained him in the first half. Not that.
Boy, welcome to the party, Ollie Gay.
Whew, that was a ferocious hit.
He got in unmolested there.
Now they are going to give a loss that time of 4 yards.
Boy, that was a nice hit. You haven't seen Dexter Carter take a hit like that in a while.
Lucky to get the handoff executed there. And again, we've talked about Brendan Howard doing a great job on the right side against big Ollie Gay. This time he gets it to Carter on the edge, and again Ollie Gay's there, and there's a flag.
I think that's going to be a hold there.
Didn't even gain, maybe one.
Yeah.
It's going to set up a long third. We'll see what the call is.
It's going to be second, but it's just going to add 10 more yards to it. I think it's going to be second down over again.
We'll see here.
March them back 10, I think.
Yeah, big number 88, 6'5". Love seeing him on the hardwoods down the basketball court. Great athlete, great talent, and coming into tonight, he has just caused havoc in many 3A WESCO backfields, and Brendan Harwood's going to do a good job, and you'll see the call.
They declined it. It was holding. Could have made it 2nd and 24, but they're going to keep it at 3rd and 13. And it's a good call. I don't think you don't want to give Glacier Peak too many extra downs there.
And they came off again. You're right. That is probably a wise calculation there.
I would have done the same thing.
Ziomas, the freshman again. If this is your first time seeing him, Edmonds-Woodway fans, he is kind of started taking over the job at the third game, and he's going to tuck and run, and he's not going to get to a first down. So if you're Edmonds-Woodway, that's exactly what you wanted.
So now you got Rose on about the midfield mark. He usually would go for this, I would say.
And he's going to do it again.
Yeah. They're saying 4th and 8. I thought he was a little closer than that. But.
And they are right at the 49-yard line. And they've been doing pretty good on 4th downs coming in through 7 games, around 65%. Ziomas back to pass. Over to this, caught by Guffey at the 35, down to the 32. Boy, I tell you, Justin the Hitman Guffey comes up big once again.
Yeah, he just comes up big in the clutch every time. Not only was that a great catch, but it was a clutch catch, 4th and 8. So keeps the drive alive.
Huge Umpqua Bank first down, Guffey, and a lot of props out there to everybody. But that offensive line, after they got crushed, held it. Ziomas had time, and he delivered. 1st and 10 now at the Warriors 32. Bumbled snap one more time. We saw a couple in the first half. He has to drop on it.
Yeah, and that wasn't the center's fault there. Got Berg at center tonight, right?
Brendan Berg and
senior night for Brendan Berg. Saw his mom down at Starbucks,
yep.
right?
Yep. Big night.
Told her we'd give her kid a shout out.
And the guys up front doing a good job this year.
2nd, 16. Boy, a 6-yard loss on that
It's a
play.
big loss. It's pretty crisp and cold out there. Bunt in motion. They fake the handoff. Now everybody's coming. Center screen. It's batted down.
Boy, and luckily that wasn't picked off. They caught a break there.
Michael Swires, 6'1", 225 senior, Good job there batting. They had the center screen set up nicely.
3rd and 16 it brings up. 4 down territory here more than likely. Unless they get a penalty or something.
Edmonds-Woodway, 38-yard line. 28-13, 7:55 left here in the third quarter. Seeding for the playoffs and on the line here. Bunt in motion. Ziomas back. He's going to get crushed. He lets it rip, and it's incomplete. Trying to go to Hatch.
I thought he might have got there a little early. 4th and 16. Now what are they going to do?
Sabatu on the coverage. Good coverage. Ziomas had to get rid of it.
He did. Now it brings interesting call here. They went for it on 4th and 8, but 4th and 16, they going to do the same thing?
They look like it. I don't see.
It looks like they're lining up to go for it.
And this is big. 4th and 16 from the 38. Ziomas.
They got him
Oh, they
offside.
did.
Now that helps them out a lot. Now you're looking at 4th and 9, or 4th and 11. Sorry, I went to public schools.
So did I.
Makes it a little more manageable. You can get a couple more plays out of your playbook here.
Coming into tonight, they on 4th down conversions, 14 for 25, 25 attempts, make that 15 because they got the last one on 26 attempts. So, not bad.
Yeah, no, I think it's respectable. It's kind of funny that they've gone for it 25 times. Or how many, 26 times?
Yeah, 26 now,
26
4th
times.
down. So Ziomas, Carter to his left, back to pass. Over, gets it to Carter. And did he get enough for a first down?
I'm pretty sure he did.
He did. That's a big Umpqua bank first down to the 17. Oh,
Boy,
my.
Carter is having a career night tonight. He's feasting off of them.
Dexter, look out, Carter, man. He is
with
16-yard pass.
You got him with 102 yards, and you got Guffey with 120 yards. Carter's got the 3 touchdowns. So both of them having huge nights.
Johnny McClain, he wants our player of the game, Adrenaline Fundraiser player of the game, the stat man.
It's too early to call, Johnny.
Heck with these players. 1st and 10 from the Warriors 17. Ziomas. Carter once again, he's got a big opening. He gets in. Touchdown, Grizzlies. Dexter Carter is 4th of the night. Our McDaniels do it center.
Wow, 4 touchdowns. Unreal.
Dexter Carter, who last year got a lot of playing time, just couldn't quite. We saw him his sophomore year, his junior year. We thought it was a breakout. Then we saw him this spring at the spring game, and he grew up. It was like a man-child. I mean, he ate his Wheaties, steaks and shakes. I don't know. He was a bigger, more powerful player coming in.
And in the first game, he struggled a little bit. And then,
it's blocked.
They can't run it back, though.
Not in high school. Good job, though, by 44 for the Warriors, and that's Spencer Schultz, the guy who does it all.
Right now, Dexter Carter's the front runner and the player of the game.
And just to note, Kevin Ramsey and Plank in that special teams field goal, that is the first time Kevin Ramsey has missed an extra point in 7 games.
And in high school, that's actually a noteworthy stat.
Or 7 games in 7.5. Yeah, and he didn't miss. He just got it blocked.
It counts as a miss.
So that puts it 34-13, and they went for it twice on 4th down.
And one of them being 4th and 16.
And
it's tough it's really difficult to convert on 4th and 16.
And we talked about halftime. Edmonds-Woodway came out their first series. They had to punt. And that was a big momentum. Number 19 takes it again up down to the 35, weaves his way. Anthony Lindemuth done a good job for the Warriors, and that's where they'll start.
So down by 21. We're going to say it again. They got to score.
They got to score in bunches and in a hurry.
Yeah.
Captain obvious, but 7:27 in the third. This was kind of a heavyweight match, 7-7 in the early goings of the first quarter. Glacier Peak comes out and gets a 14-7 lead, 28-13 at half, and Isaac Jackson in the game, trying to get something going.
Some trickery.
Another reverse flea flicker, and it is smelled out beautifully by Sam Wyatt.
Oh, that's Sam Wyatt. Okay. Number 6, and that's going to be a monstrous loss there. Where did they? Boy, I think that was a generous spot. We're going to see the replay where we thought he went down.
They did a flea flicker in the first half.
They mark it at the 20 or the 24-yard line.
This one
where they got him.
Yeah, we're watching the replay. That just took way too long to develop. Woodard got the ball, and nice job by the senior Sam Wyatt there.
Stayed home nicely.
Yes, he did. 2nd and 22 yards for a first down. Jackson back. Throws it over. Intercepted by Bunt. Bunt at the 20, and he's taken down the 19, and all of a sudden the Edmonds-Woodway Warriors are unraveling, and it's all Grizzlies here in the early goings of the second half.
Yeah, and it started with that second and 22, I think they get a little desperate, and we talked about Jackson not making many mistakes. Well, that was his first one right there.
And Bye-Bye Bunt wants to get into the game.
He's been kind of quiet tonight.
He has.
Up until there. Still got Dexter Carter in the as running back.
So Edmonds-Woodway trying to hang here. They're had an up and down season, but they've been playing well lately, and this defense finally got a big turnover. Carter. Carter outside to the 10, to the 5, the 5th touchdown tonight. Our McDaniels Do-It Center. Dexter, look out. Actually, Dexter touchdown Carter.
Man, that is unreal, the night he is having. That's one of those Sean Elledge
I
nights.
was just going to say.
Yep, the wrestler. Kind of reminds me of those nights. Although he was doing it like on returns and fumble recoveries, and Dexter's doing it all on offense tonight. 19
yards for Dexter Carter, his 5th touchdown of the night, and Kevin Ramsey and Plank see if they can do it again. The last one blocked. This one they get up and over, and it is good, I think. No one really actually gave an official thumbs up, but let's go down to our Edmonds Community College sideline reporter, Ron the Wedge Henthorn.
Okay, Ron Henthorn down here. I'm down here with a very good fan of Glacier Peak. This is Heidi Purcell, right?
Heidi Pinnell. Yeah.
Hi, Heidi. I got a question for you, Heidi. How do you like standing down there watching Dexter Carter do all his things?
Well, he's just been running the ball, and he's been getting it in, so that's what they care about.
You like being down there on the sideline?
Oh, yeah. It's way more exciting.
Way more exciting. So, a great game for Glacier Peak?
It is, yeah.
All right, thanks for being down here with us. If you got any questions, let me know, and we'll feed them back up to the booth.
Okay, thank you.
All right, back to you guys. Dexter Carter, my man, is doing it.
Now, Ziomas, whatever. You got the player of the game, Adrenaline Fundraiser player of the game. How can you not go Dexter Carter right now with 6:22 left in the third?
Well, you can't. It'd be a travesty if you picked somebody else.
It'd be a revolution.
If I picked somebody else, they'd have to fire me.
And 24, who again I was wrongly calling Calvin Neely in the first half. We got word he did switch his jersey, so that's Jalen Nash, who gets a lot of the carries, the junior, on the run back there. And boy, Edmonds-Woodway, they were in it, and then all of a sudden it's just gotten out of hand.
It is getting a little ridiculous right now.
What are Dexter Carter's flashy, gaudy,
12 attempts, 82 yards, 2 touchdowns on rushing, and then on receiving, he's got 7 carries, 102 yards.
Reinford
and 3
up,
touchdowns.
Yeah, bouncing off Guffey, and he gets 11 yards on that carry. As you're talking about Dexter Carter's video game-like stats. Man alive, what a night for Dexter Carter. He won't forget the senior on senior night here at Veterans Memorial Stadium in downtown Snohomish. My goodness. Jackson back to pass. He wants to go deep, and he's going there, and it's Incomplete. Trying to go to Jalen Nash, but just too much. Nice arm on Isaac Jackson.
And they're kind of in the spot where they got to score big and fast. So they're probably going to take them out of their game plan a little bit here.
I would say not a lot of plays.
They're not going to be able to afford to just keep running the ball, which they've actually been doing pretty well tonight.
2nd and 10 now. They fake play action. Wyatt almost gets their center screen, but tackled, and this could be it was a late hit.
It was a late flag, so see what they're going to say.
It's complete for a loss. But
it's a chop block, and that's a painful one.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's a 15-yarder.
Mike Cope, the umpire, lighting it up, the white hat.
That's going to march him back substantially.
I know we go down to Ron, the wedge Henthorn. Did you see where that foul, would you see that happen, Ron?
Oh, that's going back 15 yards, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know if Ron saw it or.
Yeah, I saw it. It was on number 20, I think 27, blocked below the knees on it. So it cost the Edmonds-Woodway quite a bit, guys.
That's a painful one.
Wow.
Should make it like 2nd 25, 21.
We'll have to try and get again if Edmonds-Woodway, if they go down tonight, we still got a lot of football to play, but 41-13, looking Glacier Peak all the way. Meadowdale has Shorecrest. They should be able to take care of business there, and that'll put them in 2nd place, 2nd seed. And Edmonds-Woodway, if they were to go down, they get the 3rd seed. Jackson hands it off to Rhineford. Rhineford gets a few, but that's another just brutal penalty for the Warriors.
And not much time to be committing those penalties. No. Oh, it was 2nd and 29,
yeah,
so it's 3rd and, I don't know, what are they going to call it here?
Got to get to the 49.
I'd say it's 3rd and a plane ride.
Yeah.
3rd and 23 is what they're saying.
Isaac Jackson, play action rolling. Now he sets up. Fafita almost gets there, and he's wide open, and it's caught at the 35, the 30, 20. It's a foot race. Now Nash, and he's knocked out by Guffey. Otherwise, it's a touchdown and a big play by Jalen Nash.
3rd and 23, they get about 60. Boy, he was wide open in the secondary too.
A shot of good emotions there for the Edmonds-Woodway fans. My goodness, what a big play.
Well, touchdown saving tackle there. Guffey pushes him out of bounds. Nope, not many other people on the field are going to have the speed to run him down like that. Unfortunately for Edmonds-Woodway, a field goal isn't going to do anything here, so they're going to have to get a touchdown.
62-yard pass completion. This one they run up the gut. Now 1st and goal.
So what you're saying is it could have been 3rd and 61 and they would have got it.
That's right. Jackson again, I mean, it doesn't look good on the scoreboard, but 7 for 14, 151 yards. That is long as 62, but.
Well, that last one padded the stats a little.
And they give it to Rhineford. He stood up and put down.
Who got him?
And that looks like
Fafita.
I think big Jacob Elvig was there on the party. There's Jake.
Welcome to the party, Jake.
Big 59.
Wearing his brother's number.
59, I think you call it.
59.
3rd and goal for Edmonds-Woodway. Huge 62-yard pass play. They absolutely have to score. They cannot let that opportunity go.
It's a must score.
Jackson
this
under
time
center.
We mean it.
Rolling left. Now he's getting trouble from Malachi. Malachi wraps him up and puts him down at the 5.
Malachi can move fast for a big man.
And we heard earlier about his younger brother who's bigger than he is.
What?
Yes, the freshman down on the farm.
Oh, man.
New freshman coach, Bobby Blair. Talked to him.
And his big brother's playing at Air Force,
Air Force, and the
State
younger
champion wrestler.
I happened to see the younger brother. I'm sorry I don't know his name. Shame on us. But at the Mount Lake Terrace game, and I'm like, who is that? And they're like, oh, that's Malachi's younger brother. I'm like, he's huge.
That's ridiculous.
4th and goal.
Oh,
and they cannot get in. Heron.
Oh, man.
And Elvig's fired up.
We got laundry on the field? We got laundry
Yeah.
on the field. That could be a... Oh, they're going to decline. It's going to go against Edmonds-Woodway. I see Guffey down there signaling decline.
It is, and we'll see the replay right here. And Elvig cleans it up there on the inside. Great job by this Glacier Peak defense, who is, again, 13 points is a big deal to score on these guys.
Oh, for sure. So the 5-tool junior got him.
5-tool junior. That's a pocket knife, actually.
Yeah, it's a little, exactly.
Glacier Peak takes over on downs. 2:55 in the third quarter. Scott Oshman, Tim Boyle, Ron Henthorn, STSP again, and Mr. Touchdown.
Probably a false start there.
Dexter Carter gets it.
It's going to back him up half the distance.
Everybody here from the gang, our executive producer, Todd Elvig, Leslie McLean directing traffic here. Replay Rob helping out Johnny McLean on the stats. The original 59, Josh Elvig on camera. And looks like now 1st and 12 from their 3-yard line. So if all goes well here, nothing crazy, Tim, Glacier Peak should face next Friday night right here at Veterans Memorial Stadium as bunts in motion the Arlington Eagles, and that one's batted down.
Ooh, almost picked off.
And that is Ollie Gay.
Sometimes that's one of the repercussions of being 5'9". Oh, what do you got there on the TV?
Oh, ESPNU, just catching that game. Lake Stevens, Kamiak, Lake Stevens, and the big number 10, Jacob Eason. And we're trying to get some other scores because I'd like to see that Meadowdale game as it's second and 12 now. We'll try and get some other WESCO scores. Alex Garrett in motion. Ziomas gets it to Carter, and that's going to go down. He's going to get a safety.
I don't think so. I think he was right on the line there.
Ooh.
I think he did get out. It looked from here like he got barely out of the end zone.
And it is where it's going to be marked, Tim Boyle, barely.
No, not much room for a mistake there.
And Oak Harbor, 35. Marysville Pilchuck, 13 with 30 seconds left in the third quarter. And O'Day up big, 59 over Lakeside. We'll try and see if we get more West Coast scores for you. 3rd and 14. They are pinned back, Tim Boyle.
No room for mistakes.
Low snap. Ziomas back to pass. Now rolling right. Getting some protection. Has to get rid of it. Throws it back the other way. Incomplete.
That's going to be a safety. That is going to be a safety. Intentional grounding in the end zone by rule should be a safety.
The only one in the vicinity is Davis Van Ness, and he wasn't expecting a delivery.
It is a safety, so 2 points, but then they got to kick the ball back to him.
Wow. Mount Lake Terrace, Tim, barely 22 over Kingston, 22-20. That's a final. That was the early game. Boy.
Mount Lake Terrace over
Kingston. Tough times there, Mount Lake Terrace. They are so banged up, though. So a safety. Haven't seen one of those this year.
You don't see that very often.
And guess what? 41-15. What was my prediction?
I don't think that was it.
Yeah, but the Edmonds-Woodway score 15.
You got it, yeah. You've got that right.
Oh, my goodness. What a bizarre game.
You took my 13 away from me.
I did. Sorry about that, man. But you're still right there. You had 42-13. Let's go down to our Edmonds Community College sideline reporter. Ron, you got something?
Yeah, you saw Aiden back there in the end zone throw it down ground in the end zone for the safety, but a little coaching experience there as he came across the field and talked to Coach Rowe. Coach said, you could have thrown it out of bounds on the other side, and he says, okay, thanks, Coach. Back to you guys.
That's good. It's good stuff, Ron. Thank you. And now on the 40, the 30, and he finally taken down, but a big run back by the Warriors, and all of a sudden some momentum after that safety.
The safety's hurt because you got to give up they get the points and you got to kick the ball back to them. It's painful. I think Ramsey was the one that got him.
I think so.
Yeah.
And Noah Becker, the runner there for Edmonds-Woodway, one of their key players. 41-15, Glacier Peak up. 1:51 left here in the third quarter. Scott Oshman, Tim Boyle, Ron Henthorn, and the gang. Aiden Ziomis, the freshman, Dexter Carter with 5 touchdowns for Glacier Peak tonight. Isaac Jackson, he takes that one himself, and he's wrapped up by big 75. Oh, my.
A great tackle there. Just kind of swung him right down to the ground.
That's DJ Keenan, the 6-foot junior. Haven't called his name much.
Welcome to the party, DJ.
He's a big boy.
He tackled him with authority.
DJ Keenan, how you doing? Look at him down there, big 75. Junior. Executive producer Todd Elvick telling us Keenan's dad was a longtime Sultan head coach. Jackson, 2nd and 13, rolling, got trouble. Gets it away, and it's incomplete, a little too short. Trying to go for Nash, and Devin Woolhoff right there, and that'll set up a 3rd down and 13 to go.
Ian Black got it. He gets a little hit on him after he throws the ball.
In pursuit. Colton Bunt there applying pressure as well. We'll try and get some more scores. So
looks like a timeout on the field there.
Oh, Edmonds-Woodway. Well, we'll take a Fred's Rivertown Ale House downtown Snohomish. If you haven't been there, go there immediately. Best Asian nachos you'll have. And we'll take a timeout. Fred's Rivertown Ale House right here on STSPN. Western Conference football presented by Gilpin Realty here on the Snohomish Times Sports Network. Glacier Peak football here, 41-15. This is for the WESCO 3A South seeding, and they'll have the crossover game right here, 7 p.m., 6:45. 3A South title. Jackson, 3rd and 13. Back to pass, gets rid of it. Almost intercepted by McCoy.
And Jackson gets it off just as Ricky Kranz is taking him down there.
Right in his
grill. Of pressure.
Yeah, Jackson is seeing, they are just pinning him back now and letting him rip. They know they can't run it much.
It's desperation time here.
4th and 13, long-time head coach Gradwall over there, Edmonds-Woodway, one of the good guys, been in there for 20-plus years. John Gradwall. Had some big Edmonds-Woodway teams over the years,
yeah,
Tim.
Some real good teams. A few years ago, they were, I think made it to the quarterfinals. Or
Glacier Peak not used to playing them much. Just the last 2 years, they've dropped into the 3A. They've been 4A. Jackson back to pass. Goes over the middle. He's got an open receiver, and that could be pass interference on bunt. And they are going to get him.
I thought it might be roughing the quarterback, too, by number 75. Kind of just got there.
Keenan.
Got there right at the right time, but looked like it was almost late.
Going for Rhineford there. Usually don't see him out of the backfield downfield. But, see, it was 4th and 13, Tim.
I think that's going to give him a first down.
Pass interference.
Rowe doesn't like it. Rowe's chirping in his ear over there. They're having some some exchange of words there.
Him and the white hat have some conversation.
Yeah.
And it is a first down. And you see the play here on our exclusive STSPN replay. There's Keenan goes in. He throws it, and it's a shame. Yeah, Bunt got there a little early. The ball was pretty much uncatchable, so he didn't have to do that, but he's just trying to make a play.
Costly one there.
No bye-bye there for Bunt. It was hello.
Early. It was an early hello.
So 1st and 10, a big play, a big penalty there. And Heron gets the call, and he gets down to the 10-yard line. Good pickup on first down for 4 yards, 5 yards. Neon night here at Glacier Peak. Jackson now going over the right. He catches it down at the 4-yard line. Nice little quick throw and catch.
Got a first down there.
I think he does, and that's a Noah Becker again, an Umpqua Bank first down. Haven't called Umpqua Bank very much because Glacier Peak, they haven't even needed a first down. They're just scoring.
Touchdowns.
McDaniel's Do It Center touchdown getting a lot of loving tonight. 3rd and goal, and now everybody's chirping who's offsides, Tim.
I think that's what it is.
Come on, Swami.
The only good news for Edmonds-Woodway on they're going to lose 5 yards, but they stopped the clock.
Yeah.
Not a good way to stop it. But
no, 13 seconds in the 3rd quarter here. Lake Stevens, by the way, up 49-7 over Kamiak.
Not a big surprise there.
No. Friends from Everett Herald on the podcast, every week they guess, as you see the call there.
Called it a legal procedure there.
ESPN, yeah. Predicting what the stats are for Easton going to be. Jackson now hands it up, tries to break some tackles and nothing doing.
He got nothing. Might have lost a yard or so.
Tillman with the carry for Edmonds-Woodway, and that'll do it for the 3rd quarter. We head into the 4th. Glacier Peak football on STSPN presented by Gilpin Realty. We'll be back right after this.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds-Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
Heading to the 4th, 41-15, live here streaming STSPN. Scott Oshman, Tim Boyle, Ron Henthord, and the entire STSPN crew. Senior night here, as this is the end of the regular season. Edmonds-Woodway Jackson passes it over. It's caught.
Great catch. He caught it on the ground.
And that's Nash.
Gonna make it third and 1. Third and goal from the 1.
From the 1. But senior night tonight. A lot of the seniors had their parents out pregame. It's always a great night, senior night. This is the last regular season. Next week will be the crossover game, and probably, most likely, it'll be Glacier Peak Arlington.
Arlington's a for sure.
That's right, it will be Arlington.
Yeah.
Jackson rolling right. This time they contain him. Bottom up, 3rd and goal. He keeps on the ball barely.
Did he fumble?
They're going to say he's down.
That's costly, though, because now it's, we got a player. I think he's hurt.
Now he pops up. That's good news for Jackson. He runs off real quick.
Isaac Jackson. Coming out.
Yeah. He heads way over there. Hopefully just got the wind knocked out of him.
He knows.
Seeing on replay. He's running to the right, trying to find somebody. And, oh, he gets smacked. Oh, yeah, I think he got smacked there in that, right in the head area. He went down, and that could have been a fumble maybe.
So we got 4th and 12.
4th and goal.
4th and goal.
From the 12. Backup quarterback number 6 fakes it. They're going to ask him to pass on a cold night. He gets it over. It's almost caught, but it's broken up by Woolhoff.
Devin Woolhoff.
And that's Cameron Crawl, the backup quarterback, the 5'10 junior. And Glacier Peak will get it.
Second time
again.
Turnover on downs, back to back.
So let's talk about Arlington. They for sure will be the opponent next week. Again, tune in STSPN, our YouTube channel everywhere, STSPN.com for that game. 7 p.m. start, 6:45 pregame.
So Arlington's having a season much like Glacier Peak, where their only loss is to Eastside Catholic. Glacier Peak loses to Bellevue, who's number 2 in the state.
Yep.
They lose to Eastside Catholic, who's number 1. Granted, they lost like 61-6 or something to that.
Yeah,
nature.
it was 60. Yep.
But Eastside Catholic can beat almost any team by that margin.
That is true. Don't have that score, but they were playing Everett tonight, who had a tremendous season under their new head coach. Their new season, they won 3. They were 3-0 to start the season.
Yep, they're having a great season.
Going the right way is Swim in at quarterback. This is Colton Bunt on the corner, trying to make somebody miss. He's run out of bounds.
I don't know about that.
And
a lot of extra kind of riding them late all the way into the sideline there.
And that's Spencer Schultz, the do-it-all guy there, the 5'8", 190-pound senior. He's in on almost every tackle. So 3rd and 2, but a big run there by Bunt. As probably Aiden Ziomas is done for the night. Jackson Swim hands it off, and that's up the middle, and that's an Umpqua Bank first down, I believe.
That kind of tricked me on that.
That was Devin Kamahara, I think.
Oh. We haven't seen him tonight yet.
No, he's gotten in a few ball games.
Yeah, he has. He's actually had a couple touchdowns here and there.
10 minutes to go in this one. You're on a quick flight tomorrow. Boy, you have been the world traveler, Tim Boyle. You're in Florida.
I was.
Now tomorrow off to the Windy City, Chicago.
Yep. I was hoping the Cubs were going to be playing a game
yeah.
there, but didn't quite happen that way.
1st and 10, Swim, and he's dragged down. That was a gang of Edmonds-Woodway Warrior tacklers there.
Yeah, I needed the Cubbies to win like 1 or 2 games so we could have a shot at going. But
I know, that would be what a costly ticket that would be.
Yeah, I know. We'd have had to.
That was number 27.
Steal for that.
Yeah. You know the stat guys are bored when Replay Rob's playing solitaire on his phone.
Jeez. You can't get a hard day's
Are you winning?
day's work out of anybody anymore.
Rob, how you doing? Are you winning?
What in the world?
9 minutes left, 2nd and 9. Jackson Swimmin, the sophomore. And this time they hand it off to Bunt. Nowhere to go for Bunt.
Kind of surprised they didn't put Rainbow in tonight.
I am too. I wonder what's going on with Rainbow, Devin Rainbow.
I have to ask Ron if he's down there on the sideline.
Senior. Good to get some other kids some playing, and they're kind of going to their little wing tee offense here, which was
that's usually
subject.
where they put Schwem in.
Yeah, the subject of much controversy during the loss to Bellevue. This time he fakes, but Swim's going to go up pass, and it's caught. Is it? No!
Oh man!
Oh my goodness!
It was taken out of his hand at the last second. That would have been a great catch.
And that was big number 87, Kyle Dvorak.
Going to bring up a rare punt here, Scott
Oh, Kyle Dvorak wanted that one. Tim, this just in. Football score from Seattle Times Preps. Arlington 43, Everett 13.
Yeah, big win for Arlington. They're both going to be. It's going to be the battle of the one-loss teams next year.
Yeah.
Or next week.
Yeah, next week. Ramsey with a punt, almost gets it blocked, but Ramsey his first punt of the night.
Oh, and
that's a nice punt. And out
you
to
got
38.
Logan D. Schneider Weaver on the coverage
right.
there.
Singing all the way there.
Absolutely. Little twisted sister.
Just hearing Leslie telling us, Ron doesn't have any info right now on Rainbow, why he's not in there. I don't know if that has to do with the package that they're going into their wing tee package. But we'll see. Let's see. 1st and 10 from their own 39. Cameron the backup quarterback, and he gets it, and he's just hammered. Is number 3.
I think Devin Rainbow's going in on the next series.
Yeah.
I was watching the sideline. I saw Rowe point at him, and it looked like he said, "You're going in next."
Okay.
So that's what I saw from here, and he does have his helmet on. So I think we're going to see him.
That was a carry by Henry Tillman, and again, backup quarterback Cameron Crawl in. He's gotten a few touches, a few plays this year. 7:26 left in this game. All Glacier Peak 41-15 as, again, Herring gets the carry, and he gets some nice yardage up to the 44-yard line.
Going to be a little too late. They're
Yeah.
kind of chewing clock right here.
Yep.
They may as well just go with the run. That's what they've been successful at
Yep.
tonight.
No, Cameron goes. It's tipped, but it's still caught. And a nice play. Heads up. He crosses the mid-stripe into Glacier Peak territory for an Umpqua Bank first down at the 45.
Great play worked out well for him.
Noah Becker there with the good presence of mind for the tip ball drill.
Stops the clock for a couple seconds, but only 6:43 left in the game.
And 1st and 10 here. Meadowdale leading Shorecrest as the play gets going. Nice defensive stop there for GP. Meadowdale leading Shorecrest 17-6 after the first quarter. That in from our good friend Steve Willits from the Sound Live Sports Network.
And now Meadowdale actually jumps ahead of
Yes.
Edmonds-Woodway.
They've got
tonight.
to win. They have to win.
Who?
Meadowdale.
Oh, yeah. I think they're going to. What would you say the score was? 17-6?
Yeah, 17-6 after one.
They're going to win that game. But Meadowdale's probably going to leapfrog them here. So a costly loss here tonight.
Yep. Meadowdale, their starting quarterback, broke his arm actually the week before, and there's a timeout down on the field by Edmonds-Woodway. We'll take a Rivertown. Fred's Rivertown, or no, we're going to go down. What are we going to do? What are we doing? Let's go take a Fred's Rivertown Ale House. You're watching Glacier Peak football on STSPN, presented by Gilpin Realty.
Your dreams evolve, and with committed support, they thrive. American Family Insurance.
Let's go down to our Edmonds Community College sideline reporter, Ron Henthorn. Ron?
Well, the Swami up there has got everything right on the numbers. I just checked with Jason Swim, and he says Devin Rainbow is going to go in the next series, guys. So nice going, Tim. You're on it.
Thank you, Ron. Appreciate it.
Yeah, anybody wants to come up and get their palms read with Tim, come on up to the booth.
You guys kill me. No one does it like the wedge, though.
No.
Ron's got the scoop down there on the sideline.
That is patent pending, by the way.
It should be.
We have a lot of fun doing this. Hopefully It's
At
not all.
least we make ourselves laugh. I
And
doubt
that's-
there's anybody else laughing.
Yeah, that's really all that matters.
Uh-oh.
Cameron passes incomplete.
Oh, and they're going
And-
to call pass interference. on
And
that.
that's going to go on Ian Black.
Oh, and the quarterback
now,
just got absolutely shredded on that play.
and he is down and not getting up.
I want to
Cameron
see
Crawl.
See that on instant replay there. He
Here-
just appeared like he got just drilled.
He did right as he threw it.
Boy, now they're going to be down to their third string quarterback here. He's staying down there.
Yeah, I hope he's all right.
Yeah.
He was fully extended, and Ian Black again. He's been out a couple games, and he was. It's a clean play. He had just released the ball, and he was just in that kind of
Yeah, and that's when you're
bent
the
over,
most vulnerable.
Yeah, and there's a knee down.
Yeah,
We're going to step away with 5:45 left in the game. 41-15, all Glacier Peak on the Snohomish Times Sports Network. And Riley Chappelle and the quarterback, number 10, he hands it off, though, to Grayson Fisher, number 2, the junior,
So,
5'8".
Unfortunately for Edmonds-Woodway, they got their third string quarterback in right now.
And that's not good as they head into the playoffs. Hopefully Isaac Jackson is okay. He's a very good-looking player.
Yeah, he was having a great game tonight. Only made one mistake, really.
10 for 20 through the air. And Chappelle hands it off again up the middle. And
unfortunately, for Edmonds-Woodway, Glacier Peak's going to expect that handoff.
yeah,
And, you got a third string quarterback in there, you're probably not likely to be airing it out the whole time.
yeah, grab your rosters, boys and girls. A lot of new numbers in there on defense for Glacier Peak and for Edmonds-Woodway.
Like to see it, though.
It is. It's great. Riley Chappelle goes back, make his first pass. A left-hander. He's going deep for the corner. He wants a touchdown, and it's incomplete.
And Leslie's all over me for player of the game, but we've got a. It was a tight vote, Scott, but Dexter Carter just kind of squeaked it out there. At
And
the
you know
end.
what? His senior night, Aiden Ziomas had a phenomenal night, but he's a freshman. I think there's plenty of player of the game rewards in his future.
Yes, and I think it was
He's already gotten one, actually.
It was a game time decision up until the 5th touchdown for Carter, and then that kind of put him over the
Sealed the deal.
We had to go to secret ballot, though.
Yeah, Noah Becker, that was the intended receiver, and Chappelle is going to go again. He's going
Same
back
spot.
deep. And, it's just in and out of his hands.
In pass interference.
Yeah,
though.
Bach was on the coverage along.
They liked that play the first time they saw it.
And one of my favorite names on the roster, Bo Burns, also there, number 38 on the coverage.
Bo
Not my
Burns.
all-time favorite. You know what my all-time favorite is.
Which one?
For Glacier Peak. I'm going to get it now. I've got the roster out. It's number 39, Jared Tabobo.
Tabobo. What about Mosese Fofita?
That's
classic.
That is classic. Malachi Fafita, Mosese Fafita. And is there a flag on the play? No. There was. 1st and 10, 4 minutes, 30 seconds to go in this game.
It was, uh-oh.
Woodway on the 11, trouble.
Boy, and Edmonds-Woodway's got some lucky bounces tonight.
Oh, now number 56 isn't happy for Edmonds-Woodway. He's getting a little of the business.
4 minutes and 14 seconds.
Fumbled snap there, and it was 7-7, and we thought we had a doozy in store for you tonight. Again, a lot of predicted Everett Herald and Sound Live Sports Network said Glacier Peak. Aaron Lammers checks in from the Herald. The third quarter ends. Lake Stevens up 56-7. Eason Knight appears to be done. Finishes with 267 yards. You see a running touchdown, Edmonds-Woodway, 11-yard. McDaniels do it center touchdown, and that's number 2.
Not fooled everybody on
Henry
that play.
Tillman, yeah.
Little bit of a garbage time touchdown.
It is. That's all right, yeah. The youngsters, and he had nobody in front of him. Let's go back to Eason's numbers for the night. 267 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown. Almost Dexter Carter-like numbers.
They were. And Eason, when he got in the second half as a freshman here at the Veterans Memorial Stadium, he replaced the guy he replaced, I can't remember his name, but he was a first-team quarterback.
Yeah.
That the year before, so he was they ended up moving him to like wide receiver.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
He was a great player too. The name just kind of slips me right now, but but you saw it here. You saw his debut here.
Absolutely.
He could end up being pro. I could see him playing on Sundays.
Yep. 41-22. The predictions are really messed up now, but we're going to take a quick break as Glacier Peak comes out here with 3:43. No, we're not. No, we're not taking a break. I lied. But Dexter Carter, our adrenaline fundraiser player of the game, Ron the Wedge Henthorn will try and get him. Also, maybe a couple comments from head coach Roy Rosenbaum in his 8th year, talking to him before the game. Just, speculation here as far as how deep this could go. This is they've had some talented teams here, but they've got some weapons here.
They really do, and I think they'd like to see Bellevue again, actually. And,
yeah.
And they probably will. The way it goes for WESCO is they always end up seeing Bellevue somewhere before the semifinals. Is that Dexter again?
It is taking the lone. That's Stevenson, the kicker, gets it off. He runs out of bounds. 10-yard line. Dexter Carter, they can't keep him off the field.
Yeah, if he would have gotten one more touchdown, that would have been a school record.
They have records on the Glacier Peak website, but we should check some. I mean, Sean Elledge has to have some of them. 3:39 left. 41-22. Glacier Peak big on top, but
Leslie's chirping at me, but I have no idea what she's
hand
saying.
signals. She's a mime. He's saying Carter could get another touchdown.
Yeah.
And on the far side, somebody wants to get in the stat book, and it's number 6, and that's Wyatt.
Somebody's not finished yet for the night.
And now Devin Rainbow is in at quarterback. The Bothell transfer, the senior, and tough for Devin Rainbow. He came in, he played well. I mean, he's had a good season, but Glacier Peak is a pretty established program. It's a winning program. They compete hard, and nobody says it doesn't matter what grade you're in. If you're the better, if they feel you get a better chance to win, and then they're going to go with you.
Yeah, and I think he has played well, and it's just unfortunate that didn't quite get his chance.
This one goes up, and I think that's Devin Kamahara again getting the carry, and now flags.
I think that's going to go against Edmonds-Woodway. I think that's a late hit there, some type of unsportsmanship.
Probably getting frustrated. So, yeah, they were talking earlier about the playoffs. Coach Hannon, Coach Rowe, everybody talking that if everything kind of falls into place.
Oh, that's going to go against GP.
Is it going to go against GP? Wow. Very likely that they could face Bellevue maybe in the quarters.
Well, it's almost mathematical certainty the way they set it up. But WESCO, if you win a couple games in the playoffs, you seem to get Bellevue. probably before you get to the Tacoma Dome.
Now the 5-tool player, he was right earlier with the scheduling. You see the hold call, I guess, against the Grizzlies. But he's saying that you're saying the quarter, it would be here if the quarterfinals could be here at Veterans Memorial? Well, okay. You're the scheduling guru now. I believe you. Tim he's been kicked off his throne.
I know. I made a mistake tonight, and I'm done. No second chances. Made the mistake, I think, in the Arlington was going to host the playoff.
Yeah, that's all right. It's okay. You're human.
I'd fire me. If it were
we
me,
try
I'd
to fire.
me.
We try to fire ourselves every week.
I know. Just don't quite get away with it.
No. 2:22. Time ticking down. 41-22. Our adrenaline fundraiser play of the game. Stand by. We'll get to hear from Dexter Carter. Dexter Lookout Carter. His name on the roster says Aubrey Carter, and that's his. I think that's his given name, but I guess he's been called Dexter since he was a little kid. So everybody just calls him Dexter Carter, and he has been quite a night for that young man. Rainbow on the corner now, tries to make some room, and
it's not
finally
going to matter. It's going to be a hold, I think, another hold on GP.
And unfortunately, that stops the clock with 1:51 left to go in the game.
This thing just won't end.
It will not. So another 3A, WESCO 3A South championship for Glacier Peak in its 8th year, Tim Boyle.
They seem to be in it like every single year.
Flag on number 69. Another hold, Glacier Peak.
Oh,
it's
they're
declined.
declining it. They'd rather take the 2nd and 15.
Yep. Really a great night for football weather-wise. Clear skies, dipping down in the 40s. A little brisk out there.
It's a perfect Friday night football weather.
It'll be interesting to see how far is
I think that was a fumble.
Rainbow. Somebody got thrown down to the turf there. Now big changes.
Left.
Yep, 4th and 12, so a big change out. But it'll be interesting to see how far this GP team can go. And last play here, this just in from, again, our good friends KRKO, Patrick Lafferty. Last play of the half, Snohomish McDaniel, Kobe McDaniel connects with Stitch for a 55 yards and a 2-point conversion. Panthers lead the Jackson Timberwolves 27-17.
I got to tell you, that will be a great win for Snohomish. I'm not sure when the last time they've beaten Jackson was.
Many years, and I am just so happy for Kai Smalley and McDaniel and everybody, because it's looking like, if, again, I don't have all the scores, but we've been talking about this during the week, that very good chance Snohomish has a playoff spot, which has not happened for a long time.
And that would be fun to see.
Great. And you'll see that right here again on STSPN, depending on scheduling and where that is. But look to STSPN. 4th and 17. And Kevin Ramsey, who's quietly had a really good season, hasn't had too many opportunities to kick field goals, has 134-yarder. A nice job punting. Ollie Gay gets in there, man. He is a big boy. Not too shabby around the 38-yard line, but that stops the clock again, Tim Boyle, as Edmonds-Woodway gets to take the ball over. Boy, warm up the bus. Don't they just want to get out of here at this point?
And it's funny you say that, because the crowd is just now starting to leave. I would have thought you'd have seen people kind of trickling out the last half hour or so, but not really now. So going through some stats, you got Dexter Carter, 80 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. He had 102 yards receiving with 3 touchdowns. Guffey had 120 yards receiving. You had let's see, who else had? Obviously, Ziomas.
It only took me 7 weeks. Don't worry, man.
He had 23 attempts, 13 completions, 232 yards, 3 touchdowns, 40 yards long.
Jeez.
Big game for him. Big game for the freshmen.
And it was funny talking to the new freshman head football coach, Bob Blair, also is the coach of the baseball. In spring, he saw Ziomas playing, and he knew right then. He looked over to his coach, he's like, uh-oh, we got to find a quarterback because we ain't going to have this kid. Now, he didn't know at that time that he was going to be playing varsity, but he saw in spring, he's like, we need to find a quarterback because he's not playing with the freshman team this year.
He's that good.
It's crazy.
Yeah, can you imagine him on the freshman team?
There's a big tackle for loss. And that's big, 69.
That's going to bring up about one more play, Scott, and that's going to wrap it up.
Anchor Graves in there. Is 67 Pinnell in? We need Mama Pinnell to see her boy out there. She made a plea at pregame with defensive coordinator Steve Hannon to put him in.
He said he was going to try to mix him in.
Ron says he's in. Here's the handoff. And he takes the GP tacklers for a ride.
And that will do it.
That's Henry Tillman. There it is, 41-22. We'll step away very quickly. We'll be right back with the Adrenaline Fundraising Player of the Game, number 1, senior Dexter Lookout Carter. Don't go away. 41-22, a final here. A WESCO 3A South Championship for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. And they're walking through the handshakes there. And we're waiting to go to Ron Henthorn. He'll have our Adrenaline Fundraising Player of the Game, Dexter Carter. And Dexter's walking over right now. We're going to go down to Ron Henthorn with our Player of the Game. What a night for that young man. Ron, 5 touchdowns.
Ron Henthorn down here with Dexter Carter. Dexter with 5 big touchdowns tonight on the Glacier Peak win.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, is that all you got to say, man?
Yeah, I mean, I got to give a big shout out to my linemen, for the open up holes. And, my coaches always tell me just trusting them to be there. So tonight, that's what I did, and I made big things happen.
So tell me about that last kickoff you took back there. You just kind of ran out of bounds. You didn't want to score again?
No, coach was just like, if you return it, I'm gonna bench you. I was just like, okay, coach. So I just did my job. I caught it, and then I just ran out of bounds.
You believe what your coach has said then, right?
Yeah, I believe him.
All right, Player of the Game for STSPN. Let me get this shirt out of my pocket here. Hold that up in front of him, will you, Heidi? I got Heidi down here helping us out on this Player of the Game. So there's Dexter Carter, Player of the Game for STSPN here tonight. Congratulations, Dexter.
Thank you.
Go back and join your plays there. Thank you, buddy. Ron Henthorn down here on the player field with Heidi. Dexter Carter, Player of the Game. Back to you, Scott.
Thank you, Ronnie. Dexter Carter, I tell you what, talk about a stat stuffer. Big congratulations, John McLean there on the stats. Dexter Carter, if you didn't hear, 5 touchdowns. On the ground, 13 carries, 80 yards, average 6.2 per carry. Long one was 19, and then he was prolific as far as receiving tonight. He bobbles a couple little swing pass screens, and we were talking about how he wasn't comfortable catching the ball. Next thing we know, 7 catches, 102 yards, 3 touchdowns. Dexter Carter, our Adrenaline Fundraising Player of the Game tonight. And Aiden Ziomas also with a spectacular evening. The young freshman just keeps getting better and better. 13 for 23, 232 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns, his longest a 40-yarder to Justin Guffey. Now we're going to go down to Ron Henthorn with
Great
head
win,
coach.
I know you got to get back to your players, but what do you think of that game?
Awesome, man. Total team win. Guys came out first snap and let them have it from the first play to the last play. It was awesome.
And Dexter Carter with 5 TDs.
Huge game for him. Breakout game.
You know what he told me when I was talking to him?
What's that?
He told me you said he couldn't make a touchdown on the last reception.
He could have made it. Come on. Shoot.
Great win, Coach. He could have made it. Thanks. Congratulations. All right, Rory Rosenbach, coach of the Grizzlies, getting back to his boys there. And back to you, Scott. Great game here tonight, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
Awesome job as always. Ron the Wedge Henthorn. Nobody does it like the Wedge, patent pending. Well, for everybody here, the STSPN crew, hey, the old timer now, Josh Elvig, number 59 on camera. Nice job, big guy. Now out making the dollar bills, y'all. And executive producer Todd Elvig, Leslie McLean, and Johnny McLean on stats. Replay Rob spotting for that. And also, did I forget somebody? Oh, yeah, Timmy B. Boyle. He's on a quick flight, so he left the building. For everybody, it's a final here. Scott Oshman saying so long. We'll see you next week for the crossover. Glacier Peak, Arlington. You've been watching Western Conference football presented by Gilpin Realty on STSPN, the Snohomish Times Sports Network. Good night, everybody.